is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series and the National Championship game.
Georgia Tech and Florida State have both won national championships this decade. And the Yellow Jackets and the Seminoles shared the ACC crown just a year ago. Tonight, the Seminoles are ready for war. Heisman candidate Joe Hamilton is a strong-arm quarterback with Houdini-like escapes. He knows the road to the national championship goes through Tallahassee. Florida State's Peter Warrick has his own magical qualities, and he wants it all. The national title, the Heisman Trophy, and it starts tonight with a win in the war against Georgia Tech. This is one of the greatest scenes in college football. Doak Campbell Stadium, where Florida State has won 41 straight games. 80,000 plus sold out. Prime time for the showdown after sundown in Tallahassee. And hi, everybody. I'm Tim Brand along with Dean Blevins. Glad to have you along for what should be a terrific matchup. We have tonight two of the best players in college football. For Florida State, of course, it's Peter Warrick, Joe Hamilton for Georgia Tech with Dean. Joe Hamilton has played Florida State 3 times. He has yet to finish a game. This is his last chance.
Well, Tim, Joe is looking for respect from Florida State. He's got it from the rest of the conference, but not from Florida State. And one of the reasons, in the 3 losses you brought up, he has averaged 62 yards total offense in each of those games. He'll have to be on his game tonight. He's a multiple threat. He can throw it. He can run option. He can scramble. He'll need to do all 3 tonight.
Now, Peter Warrick is like Baryshnikov in cleats. He is special.
Well, he's the most talented of an immensely talented Florida State roster. One that has up to 25 potential NFL players. Bobby Bowden, by the way, tells us that he's going to let it all hang out tonight offensively, so it should be fun.
We are just about set. Number 1, number 10. Kickoff is coming up next.
When Americans take to the road, they generally take stuff.
We have the stroller, which has to be in the car at all times.
It transports my bike and anybody else that wants to go.
That's why Americans are switching to Chevy Malibu.
Powerful, roomy, comfortable.
Malibu offers a V6 and still costs over $3,000 less than Camry and Accord.
I'm very happy we bought the Malibu.
The car you knew America could build. Malibu.
Step into a new Malibu and get 0% APR financing up to 36 months or $1,500 cash back. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Hey, boys, I'm lost. I'm looking for Franklin Street exit. I'm going around for an hour. Come on.
Want more power? Try Valvoline SymPower Complete Fuel System Treatment. Cleans your entire fuel system with advanced synthetic technology.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be 2 kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet, and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. So we called Dell. Dell came to see us and showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell support, there's no limit to where we can go. We always knew we needed the internet. We just didn't know how badly.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Emerald Club members get this free officially licensed NFL sports bag with your first rental from National in September.
Nice game, Bear.
If you're not a member, join for half price.
Good game, Bear.
And still get this NFL sports bag free. It's perfect for all the important things a player needs to carry.
Nice bear, Mr. Bear.
Emerald Club members get this free NFL sports bag in September and rent twice for 2 days or longer and get a certificate for another day free. The more you rent, the more you earn. National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the NFL. Teddy bear not included.
Just moments ago, Chief Osceola set the stage and threw the battle line. Georgia Tech has not suffered a loss since playing the Noles a year ago, and the Jackets are a confident bunch. Right now, Jack Arute is with head coach George O'Leary.
Coach George O'Leary, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, 80,000 people chanting the Seminole chant, doing the tomahawk chop. How do you get ready for this kind of a hostile environment?
Yeah, we went to the Braves game. That's simple as that. It's the same thing, and we just got to play well tonight.
Guys, he's ready, and so's the team.
And we're just about set here. 80,000 plus have come to Doak Campbell. Georgia Tech won the toss. Georgia Tech will receive the opening kick. Sebastian Janikowski right there, the biggest kicker in the country, will kick off. Des White and Joe Burns are deep for Georgia Tech. The way he kicks it, I doubt they'll have a chance to return it, but we'll see. This is fun.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Georgia Tech does the first time it gets the ball. Last year against this club, they go 80 yards in 18 plays and had a flawless start, but they're calling the drive around here.
We're underway. It is a long kick that will go all the way to the midpoint of the end zone. Joe Burns will down it there. So they'll bring it out to the 20. And we'll get our first look at Joe Hamilton, the quarterback for Georgia Tech, the Heisman Trophy candidate. In the win last week against Navy, he was 12 for 17, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Offensive coordinator Ralph Friedgen says some of the best passes Joe throws are incompletions. He does not make many mistakes.
No, he doesn't. And tonight is a night, if you make a mistake, you pay for it dearly.
Des White comes to the bottom of the screen on first down and 10 from the 20. Wilder in motion. And there's motion on the offense. They'll throw flags. Rather inauspicious way to start a big ball game like this.
Well, you know, you can talk to your kids about the crowd not being a factor, but it's another thing when you get out here. And there are some young kids out there. This is a veteran offensive group, but
prior to the snap, false start.
It's easier said than done.
That's 5 yards. It remains first down.
Look at our referee tonight, Jack Childress. He's the CEO of a textile company, been a referee for 25 years. And 2 of those years, the last 2, have been right here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Nice job he does.
10 yards is hard to gain against these guys. 15 is very difficult.
Well, you don't want to put yourself in a hole against the #1 team in the nation. First and 15 now. The option outside. They've got room. This is Rogers. And Rogers out across the 30-yard line. First down, Georgia Tech. Knocked out of bounds there by Tay Cody. The chilly starting lineup. Georgia Tech's offensive line is the most experienced part of their club. It averages over 300 pounds. Jason Burks is all conference. At wide receiver, we talked about Des White. He is Joe Hamilton's favorite target. And in the backfield, Hamilton, of course, is the guy. It all revolves around him. Wilder is a time-tested veteran. We'll see Burns and Rogers at tailback. Audible by Hamilton. On first down, he's going to throw the quick hitch. Has a man wide open. It's Watkins down the sideline across midfield and knocked out of bounds inside the 45. The defense for Florida State, a dominating front, led by Corey Simon and Jerry Johnson in the middle. Reynolds and Seymour are the ends. The Noles' biggest question mark would have to be at linebacker. Tommy Pauly is the only returning starter from a year ago. The secondary is flat out terrific. All-American candidate Tay Cody and Mario Edwards at the corners, a very talented pair of safeties. There he is, a look at Corey Simon, All-American. 6'2", 275 pounds of speed. Watkins picked up 26. It's first down, Yellow Jackets. Hamilton on the keeper, inside the 40. Tackled there by Sean Key. Dean, take a look at the Dell Game Solutions.
Well, Georgia Tech offensively, and this is per Ralph Friedgen, their offensive coordinator, says he's got to keep Hamilton healthy. No question, they haven't done that before, and they've got to keep this game to the 4th quarter. They've done a nice job getting it to the 3rd, and here's the coach right there, but getting it to the 4th is where they want to get tonight.
There's a look at Ralph Friedgen. Played at the University of Maryland, was an offensive coordinator for Bobby Ross in the NFL in San Diego. Outstanding football mind. Play action. Wide open again. It's the tight end, Andrew Jeske, and another first down for Georgia Tech. So just like last year, Georgia Tech is moving the ball effectively. There is a flag on the play. How about this, Dean?
Well, Joe Hamilton gives them the opportunity to run a lot of different formations and sets. We're seeing that here. It's a perfectly executed offensive series, just like the one a year ago. You've seen option. You've seen an audible. You also saw busted coverage on that audible by an outstanding player in cornerback Mario Edwards.
First down and 10 for Tech. Again, there's motion. And Hamilton is hit hard. How many times can he offer his body up like that?
Well, I think that's a big question mark tonight. Here are the Dell Game Solutions for Florida State defensively. Mickey Andrews. These are really what they have for the season they apply tonight. Hold Tech under 15 points, score defensively or set up a score, and they want to force 7 punts and create 3 turnovers. This bunch does it more times than not.
Look at Mickey Andrews, the best defensive coordinator in the country. And he's coached a lot of great ones. Terrell Buckley, Deion Sanders, not to mention Bo Ware and all those ends.
He's the best, but it helps to have all those hosses back there.
Second down and 9. Again, the option. Dangerous pitch and a big loss. Hit almost immediately by Roland Seymour. So George O'Leary's offense loses 6 yards.
Ground level look at option right. Hamilton gets Seymour in the backfield, 56. It's a busted assignment. You know, the option is a great equalizer, but you can't bust assignments on either side of the ball. That time the offense did, and they paid for it.
Florida State likes to get 8 guys in the box and tell the secondary to play a lot of bump and run. We'll see what happens here on 3rd down and about 15. Again, the option. The pitch outside. Great block on the corner. Rogers picks up a lot of yardage, but does not get the first.
Well, in that situation, they don't go 8 in the box, but they get a soft corner. Georgia Tech thinks they might be able to bust the play for the first down, but I think what they're doing there is making sure that they get a good opportunity at 3 points. They want to take the lead in this game.
So they needed 15, and they picked up 10.
I like the strategy. If you pass it incomplete, you're 40-yard kicking.
Kai Cornwell comes on to try to put the first points on the board. Pretty strong from this distance. This is from 40 yards. It's going to be long enough, but it's wide right. No good. So Georgia Tech has an impressive drive, but comes away with no points. 11:27 to play in the first quarter.
Long ago, an inventor came up with the assembly line, allowing a few people to make a lot of something. It was the model for efficiency. At Chili's, we pride ourselves for our inefficiency, because we make each of the Big Mouth burgers by hand, grilled one at a time by a person. And when you taste for yourself how good they are, you'll appreciate all the time we've wasted. Chili's fresh grilled Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
The journey is rough, the Sahara is treacherous, and the destination exotic. Under the Atlas Mountains lies a magical oasis with 900 years of history and the original version of Gridlock. If the agile and durable all-new Chevy Tracker can handle this, any traffic jam will be a cinch. If you know where the Tracker is, you could win it. For more Tracker information or to enter, click here. The all-new Chevy Tracker. It gets around.
Where will you be when your children find their life's passion? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success one investor at a time.
The season begins with a shock.
Stand by, fellas. We've hit a snag.
And he's been replaced by this guy. Discover Dharma and Greg. See you Tuesday, September 21st on ABC.
A look at head coach Bobby Bowden. His accomplishments are sensational. 293 wins. His club has finished in the top 4 12 consecutive seasons. First down, Florida State. First offensive series for the Noles. Making to throw. Tucks it, now throws it away. Chris Weinke had a streak of 237 passes without an interception until the Louisiana Tech game. Now he has just one, but everybody remembers the 6 picks he threw last year against NC State in the loss to the Wolfpack. He did not throw another one that entire regular season. Second down and 10. Well, he is a big guy, 6'5", 240 pounds. This pass is complete. It's to Lavernius Coles to the 29. The Chili starting lineup for Florida State. The entire offensive line is back from last year's title game, led by All-American Jason Whitaker and massive tackle Ross Brandon. Now, at wide receiver, they're loaded. Speed everywhere. Peter Warrick is everybody's favorite. Lavernius Coles is back. In the backfield, 27-year-old Chris Weinke we talked about. He could be the key to this game. Travis Minor is looking for a breakout game, and Dan Kendra gets his first start at fullback. The reason for that, William McCray, he had surgery Thursday. He is out for the rest of the year. Broke his leg. There is a flag down after that completion.
3 new starters tonight. You mentioned Kendra, and Sprague is in for Franklin, who's out with that knee, and Lavernius Coles back from suspension. They have a slew of wide receivers, but Chris Weinke told us yesterday that he loves Lavernius Coles.
Georgia Tech had 12 men on the field. Sometimes that's the best way to defend Florida State.
No wonder they rushed so well the play before.
Here's Jack Childress. He'll straighten us out.
Illegal participation.
We were at practice the other day, and Florida State was running a defense where they had 13 guys out there.
So that'll be a first down for the Seminoles. And again, you don't want to make it easy for the #1 team in the nation. George O'Leary not happy about that. Somebody not paying attention. Out of the shotgun, and they will go to hurry up offense a lot. Into the flats they go, and again, it's a very dangerous receiver. That's Peter Warrick, the Heisman Trophy candidate. Tackle made by Edwards. For Georgia Tech defensively, Kreisen and Watson are back in the middle. They're solid. Clay Brooks is an excellent pass rusher. Greg Gathers was playing high school ball 9 months ago. How do you think he feels tonight? 3 good linebackers. Rogers and Edwards are really active. Wimbush is a true freshman as well. And in the secondary, Tavares Tillman is the leader. He is Tech's top defensive player, but they'll play a freshman there as well, Selvin Scott. So they've got 3 true freshmen who will get a lot of playing time tonight. And that secondary will get a workout. Straight ahead they go. This is Minor. Big hole up to midfield, and a first down, Florida State.
Minor's a big game back. I think that Bobby Bowden and Mark Richt, his offensive coordinator, challenged that offensive line as they go no huddle here to try to run the ball more effectively and be more physical this week.
Well, Florida State likes to set the tempo of the game as well, and this helps do that.
Kentucky Derby offense.
Again, the pitch back. This is Minor. Gets a block on the corner. Hurdles the tackle and goes into the 45-yard line. It'll be marked at the 43.
You know, I say Kentucky Derby. That's when they bring the second unit out, and they try to get a fatigue factor working. They're just going no huddle here for the first.
Lavernius Coles at the bottom of the screen. Getting the call from Weinke. Second down and 4. There he is again. Oh, look at the blocking. Inside the 40 to the 35-yard line goes Travis Minor. We talked about him having a breakout game tonight. He was one of the most talented and heralded recruits ever out of high school.
All right, let's take a look at Dan Kendra, number 10. Gets a little block. Actually, he gets a nice block there. Gets a part of 2 defenders. It's interesting seeing a quarterback down in a stance as a fullback.
Again, out of the shotgun. Weinke in trouble. Throws underneath, incomplete. Threw that one away. It was intended for Peter Warrick. And we'll count the number of times Warrick has his hands on the football tonight.
Last week he got 13 touches. He got 3 reverses and got some punts and some balls thrown to him. They will make sure that he gets the football in his hands around 15 times tonight.
You are looking at the projected #1 pick in the NFL draft. He combines speed of Randy Moss and the strength of a David Boston. He is just terrific. He's at the top of the screen. Second down and 10. Looking for Coles. Goes toward Coles, and it's almost picked off. Oh, my. Tavares Tillman almost had the pick. Right now, let's go back to New York and find out what's happening in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, it's a win-your-way Burger King update. UCLA and Ohio State. Drew Bennett is looking for Freddie Mitchell here. See if he can follow the ball. It's tipped once, twice, 3, 4 times. Where is it? Well, it's found by Matt Stanley, and he runs the rest of the way 67 yards for the touchdown. 7-0. Tim.
Stanley is from Columbus, Ohio. Went to school at UCLA. He had to get 30 tickets for this ball game. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech gets a sack and takes Florida State all the way back to the 45-yard line. Nick Rogers with the big play. It's a loss of 11.
All right, we'll watch the pursuit from Georgia Tech. And Nick Rogers is a fast player. He is really talented, 38. His brother Philip Rogers starts on offense. Big play forces the Seminoles to punt. Well, if you're Georgia Tech, you have to look for the fake because the ball's in their territory, but you suspect they'll try to pooch it. This is a long kick, and this will go into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 20. 46-yard punt. Did not accomplish exactly what Florida State wanted, but we're still scoreless with 8:09 to play first quarter.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Don't get me started on stockbrokers. I had one for the better part of 10 years. Let me tell you something. The only one who was broker was me. With Ameritrade, it's so simple. I sit down at my computer, a couple of clicks, and I can see for myself. $8 a trade. My stockbroker said you're going to hate online trading. You can add that to the long list of things he was wrong about.
Call toll-free 888-763-0088 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Remember when all you needed was you? A buddy? And an open road? We do. Meet the new Chevy Impala. Designed, engineered, and built to be the most carefree car on the road.
Let's go for a drive.
Tim, I've got to think that George O'Leary really likes the way this game has gone to begin with. Offensively, his team overcame a penalty. They moved the ball down. They get a 40-yard chip shot. They miss that. Defensively, though, they come back and stop Florida State. It's 0-0, but that's not bad for a team that comes in an 18-point underdog. Joe Burns checks into the ball game. He's 5'11", 205-pounder. He was the Yellow Jackets' leading rusher last year with 500 yards. This is play action. Hamilton on the run and throws it. Actually threw it away. Coverage there was pretty good. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Now keep in mind, the last 6 games, if you look at this, Georgia Tech has outscored Florida State in the first quarter. But because of the lack of depth, or the depth that Florida State has, look what has happened in the last 3 quarters of those games. It has just been all Seminole. That is an amazing statistic. Just over 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10, and straight ahead they go. This is Wilder. Let's go downstairs. Here's Jack Arute.
You want to know how much respect that the Florida State defense has for Joe Hamilton? They recruited 3 players, Blake Harden, Steve Maher, and Rufus Brown, to imitate Hamilton on the scout team. How much respect do those 3 players have for the Florida State defense? For one defense, knocked them all out with injuries.
Good note, Jack. You know, that follows up what we said earlier about Joe Hamilton. This is something that has haunted Joe Hamilton. He has not finished a game yet against Florida State in 3 tries. This is 3rd down and 8. A big play for Hamilton here. He's got protection across the middle. They're not going to have enough for the first down. It was complete to Joe Burns. He's out to the 28, but they had to get to the 30. So once again, the defense of Florida State stops Georgia Tech. Dan Dyke comes on to punt for the Yellow Jackets. And Peter Warwick is standing at the 32nd, at the 32-yard line. This punt will hit the ground, and it gets a Yellow Jacket roll inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. So with 6:37 to play in the first quarter, we're still scoreless. Florida State will have the ball when we come back.
Conquer the Sahara, and you'll come to a famous market You can hear the Berber drums, stop and smell the saffron, or buy a magic spell. And if the agile and durable all-new Chevy Tracker can handle the crowds of this imperial city, parking at the mall will be no sweat. If you know where the Tracker is, you could win it. For more Tracker information or to enter, click here. The all-new Chevy Tracker. It gets around.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
Today we're talking about sportsmanship. In this play, the player who scores a touchdown takes a curtain call by taking a bow. What's the penalty and where do we assess it?
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, a house burned.
That was a tough day.
They didn't treat us as a policyholder, they treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero. He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
Today we're talking about sportsmanship. In this play, a player takes a curtain call. 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the PAT.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Downtown, you'll find a place 'cause you're downtown.
Good Morning America's moving to Times Square Monday.
ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Tracker. It gets around. By Ameritrade, the way to trade, period. Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC College Football. And National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. 6:35 to play in the first quarter. We're still scoreless in Tallahassee. 80,000 fans here at Doak Campbell tonight. Here's the reverse to Warwick. And nobody's fooled. As a matter of fact, they lose 5. Felipe Claybrooks made an outstanding defensive play to stop Warwick.
Well, containment is really important against Florida State. They bring reverses at you the way most people just give handoffs up the middle. I mean, they're just commonplace.
Boy, Claybrooks is a vocal, animated guy. Probably the best pass rusher they have. Was third in the ACC with 10 sacks, playing mostly in passing situations last year. He's from Decatur, Georgia. 6'4", 255-pounder. Second down and 16 for Winky. Plenty of time. Looks deep. Intended for Coles. Picked off. Was he inbounds? Tavares Tillman made the pick, but was he inbounds? Boy, I don't know. They say he was out. Holy cow.
All right, this is from behind Winky. Throws it deep to his consistent receiver. Questionable right there. Could have been pass interference. 1 foot down. Whoa. Very close. Couldn't tell definitively from that angle.
I'll tell you, partner, I thought he made the pick, but I thought there was pass interference.
Yeah, a little of both.
Take a look at Winky. A little bit of concern on his face. He's only thrown 1 pick in the last, well, he had that streak of 237 passes without an interception. So on third down and long, he goes across the middle. Here he is. Peter Warwick at the 45. Baryshnikov completes across midfield. Picks up a blocker. Has Coles throw a block for him. To the 25, down to the 21-yard line, and finally stopped by Tavares Tillman. A gain of 59 yards.
This guy was a high school quarterback. He's the best wide receiver. He's probably their best runner as well. Winky had only completed 1 before this. Crossing route, perfectly thrown, and then this guy turns into a runner. Look at the moves. It's similar to the reverse that he ran for the touchdown last week. That was a highlight reel movie.
Most dangerous after the catch. Here's Minor. Nothing. Maybe 1. Good play by Chris Edwards and Damara Clark to make the stop. A look at Peter Warwick He is just terrific. 6 foot, 195-pounder from Bradenton, Florida. Here's Minor. Gets a couple more. Claybrooks makes the tackle. Tim Brandt and Dean Blevins with you. 80,000 plus at Doak Campbell tonight. What a great scene this is. Number 1 versus number 10. We're scoreless. 4:33 to play in the first quarter. Jack Arute on the sidelines doing what he does best. This is fun. They love their football here in Tallahassee. Absolutely. Wanky comes out as a wide receiver at the bottom of the screen. This is Warwick at quarterback with the draw. Touchdown, Florida State.
Well, they're opening up the playbook like Bobby Bowden said.
He does it all. A 17-yard touchdown run.
This has got to scare you if you've got this viewpoint. If you're Georgia Tech, you go, well, something's wrong here. You know, Winky's out there. Warwick, what's he going to do? Well, it's too late now. Quarterback draw. A Warwick draw is what it is. And that wasn't even close. Terrific play call.
So Janikowski comes on for the extra point. He splits the sticks. And it's 7-0 Noles. How about that?
This is the real speed of Peter Warwick right here. He actually stumbles a little there, but one of the 4 or 5 best players that Bobby Bowden says he has ever coached. And speaking of Bobby Bowden, Warwick calls him Coach Bobby. He says he's like a father figure to him because he lost his father as a child. Great story, and of course him coming back was something that the Seminoles didn't really expect, but they're thoroughly enjoying right now.
He is special. He torched the defense last year with 11 touchdowns, 61 receptions, and over 1,232 receiving yards. A reminder coming up next Saturday. Some of you will see 24th ranked NC State battle the number 1 team in the nation, Florida State. Peter Warwick and the Seminoles seek revenge. We all know what happened last year in Raleigh. 6 interceptions. NC State upset Florida State. A lot of you will see Ohio and Ohio State. We'll be in Boulder, Colorado for Kansas and Colorado. That's all on ABC Sports at 3:30 Eastern Time. How big that interception that was called off now becomes. Tillman had the pick, but they said he was out of bounds and gave the ball back to Florida State.
Yeah, so it goes from very good field position for Georgia Tech and slowing down the Seminoles to 7 points for that guy, Peter Warwick, and the Noles.
He may not be Superman, but he knows where the phone booth is. Sebastian Janikowski kicks off. All the way to the back of the end zone. Joe Burns will down it there, and they'll bring it out to the 20. What do you think, Dino? Heisman-type numbers?
Well, absolutely. You know, I look at him and I say, wide receiver, I don't know that he'll get enough touches to be able to win it. Quarterbacks get it these days, or maybe a running back who gets it a lot. But like we said earlier, he's going to get enough touches. And the thing about it, when he gets them, he makes the most of it.
So many good players in the hunt right now. We saw Drew Brees today beat Notre Dame.
Right.
We saw Ron Dayne have a big day. We'll see what Joe Hamilton can do here. There he is. Throws deep, has a receiver. Wide open. It's White. To the 20. Foot race to the 10. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. There is a flag. Flag down on the play. 80-yard touchdown reception by Des White. But we'll have to wait and see what the flag is.
The flag was thrown very late. The play was half over when the flag was thrown back toward the line of scrimmage.
Actually, the flag
by the defense. That penalty is refused. Touchdown.
Yeah. Well, big plays, big days, and Georgia Tech comes up with one here. Hamilton to White for the 80-yard touchdown.
Well, what happens is when you have an 8-man front, you have a lot of one-on-one. And right there, you get burned. And this time, off to the races, you see Gibson beaten there, number 6, as he had man for man, and he lost Des White. One of the things we said is Des White had to make big plays.
Cornwell's extra point attempt, and we're tied at 7.
Georgia Tech's slugging it out with these guys.
far, this game is all it was built up to be.
The last 4 times Florida State has been beaten, it's been a wide receiver making a big play. Here you see right down there, the guy we're talking about, 22. Des White has all the potential in the world. A great character kid. Not really a natural receiver. He's had to work at it, but he has done it. He came in as a high school star, and his hands weren't that good. But they've become pretty good right now, and he knows what to do with it after he catches it as well.
Well, last year, 5 of his 9 touchdowns went for 50 yards or more. I mean, he's a big play guy. He was 3rd last year in the ACC behind only Holt and Warwick. Look at this.
And those are the stats that I just mentioned. You have Hilliard in the bowl game, and then Green, Holt, and Price. Price last year's Fiesta Bowl, where he had 199 yards and a touchdown.
Folks, we have had 2 touchdowns in the last 19 seconds. We still have 3:53 to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 7. Philip Newman to kick off for Georgia Tech. Jermaine Stringer now comes in as a return guy along with Lavernius Poles. Florida State will play a lot of folks. They have athletes. This is Poles. He's dangerous. Breaks a tackle, but great coverage by Georgia Tech. And he's taken down at the 18-yard line. Hey, folks, Tuesday, September 21st, Mike meets his match when Heather Locklear joins Spin City in the season premiere, plus a really angry Yankee star, Roger Clemens. We'll see you Tuesday, September 21st, season premiere of Spin City. Dean Blevins' favorite program.
Yeah, it may become that. Roger Clemens, by the way, has not had the year that the Yankees had hoped. But the Yankees aren't doing too badly.
Let's see where Warwick lines up this time. There are the numbers on Wenke. 2 of 6, 61 yards. Minor the lone setback. They've got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. And this is Warwick. Gets a block in the corner. To the 20. Breaks 2 tackles. Still alive. Ends up losing 2 yards.
Got a game tackling. That's what they did that time.
Nice play by Felipe Claybrooks to take him down. Here's the Dell game solution for Florida State's offense.
Mark Richt says score 28 points. We do that and we'll win, and we also want to have 450 yards total offense. Right now, Georgia Tech's defense playing pretty well. I don't know if they're going to get to those numbers.
Well, one of the big things Mark Richt wanted was 2nd down and short. He's not getting it. Not again to Wenke. Wenke at the flanker spot, throws it back to Warwick. Peter Warwick looking for room, now picks up some blockers. He's loose to the 30, to the 35, first down Florida State. It's the 2nd time we've seen that formation where Warwick goes to quarterback and Wenke goes to wide receiver.
Hey, tell me another program that's going to run a play like that back on its own 15 or 20-yard line. You just don't see it. If you love offense and you love a little diversity, you've got to love Florida State. Back that's eligible because the first one was thrown backwards. And there's another touch.
Gain of 20, first down and 10. Now Warwick goes under center. Keep in mind, the fullback is Dan Kendra. He can throw a pass as well. He came in here as a quarterback, as everybody knows.
Wenke confused.
Yeah. Play clock down to 4, so he calls timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty. Hey, Jack, what do you have down there?
You know, plays, they call Green 86. You want to know the name of that double pass?
Yeah, what is it?
Warwick pass. Simpler than that.
Well, whatever it's called, and Peter Warwick's down.
Yeah, we've got a problem now. Peter Warwick, and they think maybe it's a hamstring or cramps is the initial word we get here. You know, when we talked to Chris Wenke, we asked him how often and why and when do you go to Peter Warwick?
That guy knows how to get the job done. He's going to find a way. If you need 5 yards to get 6 yards, if you need 6 to get 7. So if you need that long touchdown, he's going to find a way to get the job done. So there's a reason he came back here. He wants to show the people around the country he's the best player in the country. Hands down, I think he is. And that's why I'm going to try to give him the ball as much as I can.
Well, there is no question what the pro scouts think about him. Projected #1 pick in the NFL draft. Everybody knows he would have gone in the top 10 this past year and surprised everybody by turning down the NFL and coming back to college. Travis Minor around the left side. He gets a chunk and is out to the 44-yard line. Florida State needs to get up to the 47 for a first down.
Minor's a guy that has had a slight groin problem, but when he's healthy and it's a big game, he's ready to go. We'll keep an eye on Ross Brandon, by the way. The big, strong tackle, major concern, a knee problem that puffs up.
Straight ahead they go. Absolutely nothing there. Dan Kendra with his first carry of the night. Now, Peter Warrick is the only receiver to catch a pass tonight for Florida State. Let's go down to Jack Arute, get an update.
Well, Timmy, the situation was when he came off after that great reception, he complained of some dizziness. They were concerned that the dizziness was an indicator of fatigue and the possibility of cramps. One of the things that happens if you cramp up, you're going to be plagued with it the rest of the game. Preventive maintenance, icing him down, hydrating their game. They hope to keep him in till the fourth quarter.
We're going to get Peter Warrick to fix your mic. He does everything. Here's Winky. Has the completion in the first down. It's complete to Antonio Bell, or Atruz Bell, rather.
Well, these guys can throw so many receivers at you. Winky, now one of the things that he has not done as well as he should is step up into the pocket. When you find your set point, come up. That time he found his set point, he didn't waver, but Mark Richt wants him to step back up on deeper drops.
Minor down to the 40-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 41. Boy, this is a machine, though. I mean, this is one of the nation's most productive offenses. Peter Warrick, Lavernius Coles, Travis Minor, speed everywhere. So when one goes out, they just replace speed with speed.
Well, it's the depth that just amazes me. The talent is something special. Georgia Tech feels like they can match up with them pretty well with their first team. Seconds, though, they don't come close.
See what Winky does on second down. Florida State needs 6 for the first. Here's Kendra. Big old Dan Kendra gets a huge ovation. Yeah, everybody knows his story.
Exactly. You know, Kendra is a guy who's been around here for such a long time, and he came in one of the most heralded recruits in Florida State history, and he's had problem after problem, and he's turned a setback into a comeback, and everyone here pulls for him. The coaching staff does, and the teammates as well. It's a great story.
Heralded high school player. Florida State has the first down. Hey, tomorrow on ABC Sports, you can see one of golf's greats. Tom Watson makes his senior PGA debut in the Comfort Classic. Tomorrow, live at 3 Eastern on ABC Sports. Sit back and relax. This will be the final round. A purse of $1.2 million. Tom Watson on the senior tour now.
Peter, top of your screen, back in.
On first down, Winky looks his way. Now checks up, goes back that way, and incomplete. There's a flag, and he's going to be pass interference called. Lamar Clark was on his back.
I asked Chris Winky what his favorite pass is. He said, well, first of all, it's the number 9, and it's the post route. That's what he has right here. Jamar Clark is their pass interference. Left hand over the top. Definitely. Good call. You know, when you throw it deep to number 9, generally something good's going to happen. He's going to catch it and do a miracle after it, or they're going to interfere. More times than not,
by the defense.
It'll happen that way instead of
the previous spot. First down.
Well, I've got to tell you something. I agree with George there. He has every right to that football, and he was going up for the pass, trying to knock it away. I'm not sure he was passing it.
Well, I'm an offensive guy. You're a defensive guy. We'll have to take a look at it again.
This will be the last play of the first quarter. Tied at 7, but Florida State threatening. Minor spins out after he was hit and takes it down to the 10-yard line. Everything you could hope for in the first quarter. That's it. We're tied at 7. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive.
Letztendlich.
Miami, Denver, Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Now you can use your wireless phone anywhere in the country without worrying about roaming or long-distance charges. America Choice, only from GTE Wireless. Welcome to the United States of America.
Hey, Gus, look at our buddy. He's got dinner for 2.
Maybe he has a date.
Now, feast on 2 Long John Silver's meals for the unbelievable price of $6.99. Choose 2 of our classic Fish and More meals, or 2 of our new country-style breaded fish meals, or 1 of each, and all for just $6.99.
Hey, it's a woman.
Oops, wrong apartment.
Depend on Mike Dunn tonight on News Channel 9 at 11.
I'm with Bobby Bowden. Bobby, your impressions of this first quarter. Are you surprised?
Well, they got their touchdown too dadgum easy. You know, one shot. That's good. They don't surprise me what they're doing. And it's like it's going to be a dadgum war. We sure need to score down here now.
What about the condition of Peter Ward?
I think it's okay. We just got to be careful we don't fatigue him. And, you know, so he has to play and then rest.
Fellas?
All right, Jack. A dadgum war. Hey, that's a 2 dadgum interview. Way to go, Jack. We're set to begin the second 15. Wanky 5 of 9, 90 yards. Warwick 4 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. We're tied at 7. There's a handoff to Maddox. Maddox looking for help. Gets all the way down to the 6-yard line. You're looking at a true freshman, folks, Nick Maddox. And remember the number 37. He was the leading rusher in the first game, 46 yards on 7 carries. All right, here's the interference. You say it's not. I say it is. Let's get ready to stop it right there. Well, you didn't need it stopped. I saw where you were going. Over the top. All right. I saw where you were going. Good call. The left hand on the shoulder. Yeah. After further review, I agree. Wanky with the give again to Maddox. Hey, this guy has some juice now. I really like this back. You know, they lose a guy. This tells you the depth at Florida State. Raymond Skaggs, you know, he's a great player. He goes in and says, Coach Bowden, I'm not playing enough. You know, I'm going to transfer. Bobby says, all right, so transfer. Well, now this guy comes on. All Florida State does is reload with someone who is a terrifically talented Mike Maddox, and he's the 3rd ranked. Second down and goal. Travis Minor comes back into the ballgame. Wanky looks to the corner, throws that direction, incomplete. It was intended for Peter Warwick, who's back in the ballgame. Good coverage that time by Jamar Clark. They are battling. Now, Clark had the pass interference call, but he has really given Peter Warwick fits. Although Warwick has 4 catches for 79 yards. There's a look at Jamar Clark, the junior. He's from Bradenton, Florida. Best cover guy for the Yellow Jackets. And this is a pretty good matchup, folks. Well, it is. And what's really interesting about it is these guys were high school teammates. Warwick was the quarterback on their club. He's throwing passes to him. What a matchup up top. 3rd down and goal for Florida State. Play action. Wanky goes over the middle. Kendra! Touchdown, Seminoles! Well, the playbook is wide open. No one's thinking fullback, and they should have been. Oh, you have to be happy for that guy. Oh, yeah. Dan Kendra. We talked about the heralded high school recruit that he was. Incredible publicity. He came here, blew his knee out, They said he would never play again. He rebuilt it, worked in the weight room, had all kinds of problems. He comes back. They move him from quarterback to fullback, and he scores. Janikowski's extra point is good, and Florida State leads 14-7 with 13:56 to play in the first half, and Winky is all over it.
Out here, the stories unfold like a map. Stories written across the sky with the tip of an eagle's wing, or read between the lines of a sheer rock face. Stories you can hear in the thunder of a river. The kind of stories that could fill a scrapbook you'd want to page through again and again. Of course, to fill that scrapbook, you got to get out there where the stories live. You're going to need an outfitter for the journey, an outfitter for your dreams. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth, each designed and built to take you where the stories begin and never end. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Introducing Intel's email postcard on the Kodak Picture CD. You'll find a reason to send one.
Order a Pizza Hut pizza for carry-out or delivery and get the new ABC Fall Preview Guide free. Preview our hot new shows and get special Pizza Hut offers. ABC's Fall Season premieres Monday, September 20th.
This man, Dan Kendra, came to Florida State University as a highly touted quarterback. Backing up Tad Busby, he passed for over 1,000 yards, 12 TDs. Then, Timmy, as you said, he blew his knee out. He recuperated. He talked about quitting football. He came back to play fullback. And the big change, he said, in the recuperation, I accepted God. He said all of a sudden, football doesn't seem to matter so much.
Interesting story, and you have to be happy for a guy like Dan Kendra who has come back and fought through so much adversity. Hey, this guy is strong, too. A phenomenal athlete. Leg presses over 1,300 pounds. He's got size, he's speed. 6'2", 255 pounds. Came back to camp at 270.
Yeah, 270.
Then had a cyst in his knee. Had to have that removed.
I would say that first quarter went pretty well for Dan Kendra.
Oh, there's no question about it. You know, his dad played at West Virginia. 13:50 to play in the first half. Florida State leads 14-7. Hamilton 4-5 so far. Here is to give up the middle to Philip Rogers, and there's absolutely nothing there. Simon and Johnson are there to make the stop.
Well, Georgia Tech had the big play from Des White, but other than that, they've not done much offensively. They are stuck at 4 first downs, and there's a good look at Des. 11 first downs for Florida State.
Hey, this week's Applebee's Game Facts. Florida State is the only school in the NCAA history to have 12 straight 10-win seasons. Second down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Florida State jumps defensively. There are flags down. We'll see if they were drawn off.
Snap, offside by the defense, 5 yards.
Yeah, Corey Simon and Jerry Johnson both jumped. So that'll help a little bit. Second down and 5 for the Jackets. Play action. Hamilton has time and throws into the flats. This is Wilder. And Wilder is up to the 39-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds there by Bradley Jennings. So that's a gain of 14. They'll move the chains and continue to move up the field.
What happens is when you have a 3-deep secondary, you've got man coverage, and all they do is slip the back out underneath. No one's there to pick him up. Nice pass, nice catch. It's easy like that, though.
Boy, Ed Wilder is a load. 6'2", 255 pounds. The ACC's best blocking back. Also looks like a pretty good receiver.
He's another one that's probably closer to 270 right now.
Joe Hamilton looks at the play clock. After looking at the defense, there was some confusion. He was not going to have time to check out of it, so he calls timeout to avoid the flag. 14-7, Florida State.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Play Burger King's Win Your Way college football game. With a new game every week, you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, a trip to a bowl game, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Still going. I've had marriages that didn't last this long.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. Ford Country, look at that truck. Ford Country, built Ford tough. Ford Country, when the work gets done. Ford Country, the whole world's Ford Country.
We've talked about Florida State sneaking up a safety, and effectively it's a three-man secondary. They're locked into man coverage back there, and here you see one, you see two, and here's Durden right there. He's going to be involved in the run game if need be.
Look at this formation. Hamilton with time. Now has some room. Out across the 40. But very quickly, Florida State closes down on him. Well, you have to say to this point in the ballgame, it has been the two guys that we expected to have big games. Joe Hamilton with 139 yards passing, including the 80-yard pass to Des White for the touchdown. And Peter Warrick, 79 yards receiving, 11 rushing. He has the one touchdown from the quarterback position on a quarterback draw. He has just been spectacular. He also has a pass completion to Winky. Second down and long.
Now they go nickel.
Crowd noise a factor. Straight ahead they go is Joe Burns. He gets up close to a first down, but it would be a yard short.
You know, those defensive ends can flat out run. Seymour just ran down the quarterback, but here you go. Reynolds, 6'4", 254, 264, 250. There are the times. Now, that's by pro watches. 4.45 in the 40. 4.45, 4.43. I mean, running backs run 4.5 if they're fast. That's unbelievable.
Third down and 1. Noise a factor for Hamilton. Hamilton has the first down and then pays for it. Oh, what a lick by Derek Gibson, the rover, who came up out of the safety spot like a linebacker and made the collision.
Well, Gibson is a sticker. He can flat out hit. He's another one. Speaking of speed, he's a sub 4.4 guy. But they're going to make Joe Hamilton pay for it. That time, Joe Hamilton doesn't care. They move the chains. Georgia Tech gets to keep moving toward a touchdown and run some time off that clock.
Again, play action, a lot of trouble. Dangerous pass. Incomplete. Oh, almost picked off. Mario Edwards had his hands on it. It was intended for Des White, and there is a flag. It's going to be against Florida State. Yesterday, we talked to Joe Hamilton at some length about everything, about the history he's had with Florida State. And we asked him how big this game with the Noles really is.
We haven't been able to beat them. So I think we're coming here with a good team, you know, with the best chance I thought since I've been here to beat them. You know, we had a very good chance last year and we didn't do it, but this year it's going to be harder because it's down in Tallahassee. We're coming in full power, you know, ready to do something big.
The give to Rogers, and he takes it down to the 36-yard line, but Joe Hamilton is special. Just a tremendous athlete and a great kid. We asked him about winning the Heisman Trophy, how important that is to him, and he said, you know what, if I go out and throw 8 interceptions in that game against Florida State, if I lose 40 yards and don't gain 1, but we win the ball game, I'll be the happiest guy in the world and will not care about any personal awards. Team player. 2nd down and 8. Play action again. This is Rogers. And he's taken down quickly. Let's go downstairs to Jack Arute.
Tim, you may wonder why you're playing such a big game so early in the season in the ACC. Well, here's the reason. The Sears Collegiate Trophy that'll go to the BCS champion. That game #1 versus #2. The ACC Conference hopes that maybe by playing big games early, where losing doesn't count as much as maybe losing late in the season, they could put 2, not 1, but 2 teams in the hunt for the BCS.
Now, keep in mind, the ACC doesn't have the inventory that some of the other larger conferences have, 9 teams. So this early exposure for them is good for the television, obviously. Last week, Virginia, North Carolina. This week, Georgia Tech and Florida State. Those are big games, and this is a big down. 3rd down and 4. Hamilton, on the keeper, has the 1st down.
Now, that's what a winning quarterback does for you. 3rd and 5 is considered 3rd and long in most people's books. O'Leary knows he has a guy that can make the plays. That time you go option and say, Joe, do it for us one more time. And he does it. Now, Florida State has a lot of defensive players, but they're having to stay on the field a long time.
But this is a good drive. They want to keep that Florida State offense off the field. Keep Warwick over there as much as they can. So the best defense for Georgia Tech is their offense and milking the clock, which they're doing. An 8-play drive here. Here's the pitch back to Burns. Inside the 25-yard line goes Georgia Tech and Joe Burns. Boy, great block by Ed Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder's a load up front. Joe Burns is a nice player. He's going to play some fullback, but he is a guy that can run over you if he needs to.
Tim Brandt, Dean Blevins, and Jack Arute with you. Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. 9:28 to play in the 1st half. And this has been a terrific game. Florida State scored first. Georgia Tech came rolling right back with a big play. 19 seconds later, Hamilton went to Des White on an 80-yard touchdown. And then you just saw Dan Kendra moments ago score for Florida State again. And that's where we are, 14-7, Noles.
We must be having some cadence. This is something that Joe Hamilton is doing to draw off Florida State, if indeed, again, it is on Florida State. He has a veteran offensive line. The line says they listen to him very closely, but this would be the 2nd penalty.
Offside by the defense, 5 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
Well, we're talking about #1 versus #10 here, and this weekend the NFL starts. On ESPN, it's the season opener of Sunday Night Football. The new Cleveland Browns return to face Cordell Stewart and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then on Monday Night Football, Miami against Denver. Oh, what a great one that one should be. Terrell Davis. Ryan Greasy starting at quarterback. That has been controversial.
Well, nothing against him, but I'll take the Fins in that one. 2nd and 1's a lot better for Georgia Tech than 2nd and 6. Free play.
Hamilton gets a block, has room inside the 10, inside, touchdown, Joe Hamilton. 19 yards for Joe Houdini Hamilton.
Joe Hamilton does a great job running the option, and one of the things you have to do as an option quarterback is be patient and let the play develop. Watch him come down the line, let his players execute. And that time all he had to do is make a nice cutback move in the secondary and leave Gibson standing. Beautiful option play. It's an equalizer.
Now there is a flag by the 10-yard line on the far side, and the officials are now talking about it. I think it's going to be a delay game against Georgia Tech here after the touchdown.
Dead ball foul. Substitution infraction by the kicking team. 5 yards. Still a try.
So on to attempt the extra point, which is a little bit longer now, is Luke Monjay. For George O'Leary, that'll drive him nuts. Worst thing you can have when you're playing a team as talented as Florida State, and mistakes like that, that's a mental error. Monjay's kick is up, and it's good. 9:06 to play in the first half, and folks, we are tied at 14 because of this guy, Joe Hamilton.
Hey, man, she's here. Check it out. That's cool.
Yeah, they are.
Pick one.
Which one? You like this one? Easy, then. Easy. How about this little guy? Huh?
Yeah. Good choice.
I'm Steve Kirby. These are my mountains. I test emissions for Ford Motor Company. We're up here in the Rockies testing Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury sport utility vehicles. We're really concerned about the environment. Every SUV we sell this year is going to be low emissions. These vehicles average 35% less smog-forming emissions than the government requires. 35%. That's really amazing. The government doesn't make us do this. We're doing this for my mountains. Better ideas driven by you.
Here's the ledger on Joe Hamilton, 5 of 6, 139 yards and a touchdown, and he's run 6 times for 34 yards and a touchdown. The option has been big tonight, Dean, and I know you ran that offense at Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was the wishbone. It's the same principles. And, you know, one of the reasons it's so good for him is he's such a good passer. And anytime you can do that, it loosens up the defense. But the other thing, we talked about the patience, and I'll explain what I'm talking about him. As you see Joe come down the line, you stop it right there. You've had the fullback, the one man here, take advantage of the fullback. So that guy's out of the play. This man is going to be blocked, so he's out of the play. This man has the pitch man, so that leaves it for Joe. If he had not been patient and tried to cut back in, he would have only gained 3 or 4 yards. Now he gets in the corner, is able to get it in the end zone.
Well, here's the deal so far. Each team has scored a touchdown on its last 2 possessions. We have 9:06 to play in the half, and we're tied at 14. So Philip Newman will kick off for that man, George O'Leary. And he'll be kicking to Lavernius Coles and Jermaine Stringer. As you look at Lavernius Coles, who is the fastest man on this Florida State team. He runs a 4.240. Now it's up to the Yellow Jacket defense. Right now it's their cover team. This will be Stringer at the goal line. Stringer at the 20, out to the 30, tripped up out to the 38-yard line, goes to Jermaine Stringer on a terrific return. 40 yards for Stringer. And Philip Newman, the kicker, had to make the stop. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford Outfitters. No boundaries. By Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. When you have it your way, it just tastes better. And by Budweiser, made with the freshest, all-natural ingredients for brewery fresh taste.
Florida State weapons everywhere. Kicking team, they are very aggressive, and they can bust it open there.
On first down, Winky to throw. Wide open is Cole. Extremely dangerous. Breaks a tackle across the 45 into Georgia Tech territory. A gain of 16.
You know, in talking to Mark Richt about Winky and what he does well and what he doesn't do so well, he says it's funny. He makes the deeper throws look easy, and it's the shorter ones, like that one, that are difficult for him. He said he's improving them.
On first down, the draw. Big hole. Travis Minor down inside the 30. Florida State starting to make it look easy.
Well, the pass opens up the run. Those running lanes get really wide when they have to cover the entire field and get all flanked out. You worry about on one side having Lavernius Cole, and then you look on the other side, and there's Peter.
You know what makes the Noles so dangerous to defend is they line up in a run formation like the I, and they'll throw 50% of the time. Or out of the shotgun and the spread formation, they'll run it. With an audible out of the shotgun. Here's the give to Kendra. Big hole. Breaks the tackle down to the 20 and close to another first down for the Noles.
Big night for Kendra. Nice job up front from Florida State. Ross Brannon up there and Ammon 64, the guard. Nice push, and you see Tarlos Thomas 60 there trailing.
Quick play, no huddle, enough for the first down. Boy, how did you like Kendra, who is 255 pounds, runs it straight ahead on the fullback blast, following Brannon 310, Ammon 305, Thomas 305, Whitaker 300 pounds, and Thomas 320 pounds. Huge. This is Minor. Gets a block on the corner. Makes a cut and breaks the tackle. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Florida State. Travis Minor, and the Noles strike again. So Janikowski now to add the extra point. No question about it.
George O'Leary's a little leery at this point.
7:09 to play, first half, 21-14, Florida State.
When friends get together, the work's all done. There's one place to go when the weekend comes. Ford Country. Look at that truck. Ford Country, gonna kick up some dust. Ford Country, where the open road runs. Ford Country, the whole world's Ford Country.
There's a lot of history behind ACC football, but you haven't seen anything yet.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
Chief Osceola is serious. And so is Renegade. 7:09 remaining in the first half. It's Florida State 21, Georgia Tech 14. Joe Burns and Des White are deep for Janikowski's kick. And this one's out of here. Right through the uprights.
All right, we'll see this touchdown play again. Dan Kendra, fullback position. Keep an eye, number 10. We're going to stop this video in just a second as he knows who to block right there. Watch this block. Classic block by Dan Kendra. Whoop. Now, Miner has one guy to beat. His eyes get big, and he gets in the end zone. What a night for Dan Kendra. Terrific run, but that's the reason the opportunity was there for Miner.
They're on their feet in Doak Campbell Stadium. All 5 of Georgia Tech's drives have started from their 20-yard line because of the leg of Sebastian Janikowski. Hamilton throws over the middle, has it complete. Kerry Watkins out to the 40. A gain of 21, so there's no panic in Hamilton.
No, there isn't, and you feel this crowd getting into they're wanting to blow him out, and Hamilton has a big play here. He's got to hang in the pocket, wait for his man to come open. He does across the middle. He throws a strike. Remember, this guy's only about 5'9 and a half.
Correction, that was Kelly Campbell. And while everybody is watching Des White, and they're getting some double coverage on White, keep an eye on Watkins and Campbell.
Exactly.
2 young players with a lot of speed and terrific talent. First down. The blast up the middle, about a yard. Philip Rogers. Let's go back to New York. John Saunders giving an update on the Ohio State-UCLA game.
Tim, the Buckeyes were in some trouble, down 10-0, but then Michael Wiley out of the backfield. Good run here to get it to the end zone. It's now a 10-7 game. The Buckeyes really dropping to 0-2 for the first time since 1986. Tim.
Interesting. Well, they didn't look very good in the opener. And with all those guys suspended for UCLA, that's surprising.
Yes, it is.
Second down and long for Hamilton. They fake the reverse. Hamilton is hit hard after a gain of 2. Bradley Jennings got there first along with Corey Simon. .5:40 to play in the first half.
All right, a little trickery here from Georgia Tech. Here you see the ball goes out, trying to let Florida State know or make them believe something is going to happen to get them spread out. And then the objective for Georgia Tech is to seam him, find a seam and get Joe up, but he wasn't able to do a great job defensively.
Third down and 7. This place is deafening. Hamilton with time across the middle. This is Campbell. Campbell's open to the 30. Campbell to the 20. Campbell inside the 10. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. 56 yards. The fastest guy on the Georgia Tech team takes it the distance. There is a flag.
Campbell will come from the left side of your screen and a little under route. Joe dumps it off, trying to pick up the 7 yards, but this guy can flat out fly. As you mentioned, the fastest on the club, and they love his potential. And Joe's reaction to that?
Well, George O'Leary is going to be upset because of this, because there's going to be a penalty on celebration, I believe. And it's going to be against the Yellow Jackets. So they're going to have to act like they've been there before when they score those touchdowns.
After the score, it was unsportsmanlike by the offense. 15 yards on the try.
Well, this is going to take the ball all the way out to the 17-yard line, so it'll be a 25-yard extra point attempt. Luke Monge is on to make that attempt. And these extra points are big. Good snap, good hold. It's long enough, and it's good. So they're making it difficult, but they're making them good.
Got a game here, Putsy.
It's been terrific so far. 5:02 still to play in the first half, and we are tied at 21.
Jack.
Don't get me started on stockbrokers. I had one for the better part of 10 years. Let me tell you something. The only one who was broker was me. With Ameritrade, it's so simple. I sit down at my computer, a couple of clicks, and I can see for myself. $8 a trade. My stockbroker said you're going to hate online trading. You can add that to the long list of things he was wrong about.
Call toll-free 888-763-0088 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
That's what I call high-quality H2O.
Now, the Water Boy is yours to own for the first time.
You can do it!
Plus, you can enter to win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to see the BCS National Championship game as an honorary Water Boy.
Oh! I think that's sexy.
Grab your copy of The Water Boy. Take it home on video and DVD and enter today.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Now this is going to be Lavernius Coles at the 10. Lavernius Coles to the 20. He's loose. Picks up a block. Lavernius Coles out to the 32-yard line. And you can't be away from this game very long.
Oh, Lord. Speed everywhere. Let's go down to Jack Arute.
Well, Timmy, let's tell you why a lot of people may be just meeting Joe Heisman for the first time. We're talking about Hamilton Heisman. The Georgia Tech Sports Information Director has put out mouse pads, press releases, and a CD-ROM. It's all great. I know you two guys have got Heisman votes. You've seen it, but you know who else saw it? Peter Ward. What did he do with his CD-ROM? He played it for the FSU defense.
You know what else, Jack, is the fact that when that first came out, a lot of the guys on the Georgia Tech team thought that he had recorded a song. They said, you have your own CD? Thought he had some songs on there, that he was a singer.
Well, both these guys have Heisman numbers. There's a late hit.
Well, they're trying to blow the ball dead. I'm not sure he heard it, but there's a flag all the way back at the 45-yard line in Georgia Tech territory. I heard the whistle up here, but Clay Brooks came hard from the backside. And keep in mind, every time Wenke gets hit like that from behind, everybody holds their breath. He had very serious neck surgery in mid-November.
Delay of game. Offense. 5 yards and still first down.
Now, the foul will not be called against Clay Brooks. It's a delay of game on Florida State. So the delay of game will back up Florida State, and Wenke's got to be sore, and he's still griping about it.
Oh, terrible no call. Absolutely terrible no call. You know, there's been a lot of talk about Florida State with late hits. Well, there's one from Georgia Tech that is unbelievable. How could you not call that?
First down and 15. The outlet to Coles, breaks a tackle, and he's got the first down or close to it.
You know, sometimes teams react because they feel that their player has been attacked, and Joe Hamilton has been hit before what they thought was late. Maybe they're retaliating, but that was clearly a late hit from a very good football player. This guy can play.
This week's Aflac Trivia question, there are only 5 Division I-A schools that do not have university in their title. Service academies, of course. What are the other 2? Here's Minor. Here's that Aflac Trivia question. 3 of the service academies. Who are the others? Do you know the other 2?
Well, I would take the Ramblin' Wreck as a possibility. Georgia Tech Institute of Technology.
I have the answer for you coming up shortly. Second down and 5 for the Noles. Minor, big hole, right side. One guy to beat. To the 34-yard line goes Travis Minor. Minor, All-American candidate, started here for 3 years. First team All-Conference in the ACC. Was National High School Player of the Year from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and they'll bring it back. There is a penalty.
Repeat second down.
Both teams have hurt themselves with penalties tonight.
Well, if you like offense, and you like speed, you like scoring, and you like penalties, you really like this game.
Well, keep in mind, too, that holding this year in college football has become a point of emphasis with the officials.
Some people disagree with that, one of them being Terry Bowden, who's thinking offense all the time.
Second down and 13. Wenke hit hard again, throws this one up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Intended for Peter Warrick.
Sometimes I think Wenke forces things to work, but you've got to forgive him. I mean, you've got a once-in-a-lifetime receiver out there. There you have a corner route. He's double covered. That's a force.
You know, to me, it's amazing that Wenke's even out there. He had that very serious surgery in mid-November, which lasted 4 hours, had that herniated disc removed.
Well, you can't complete those. That is almost impossible.
Amazingly, Wenke has rehabbed. He's playing tonight. It'll be third down and long for Florida State. Under 3 minutes to play in the first half now. Let's go back to New York and John Saunders get an update on the UCLA-Ohio State game.
Ohio State using 2 quarterbacks. Mockerman got the start, but it's Belisari who engineers this touchdown pass to Kenyon Rambo. Says they look for him more this week. They did. Belisari 3 of 3 for 44 yards, and the Buckeyes have the lead.
John, you had to believe Ohio State would come back, and they'll have to play well. I mean, obviously, they struggled in that opener, and playing at night in Columbus. Well, it's hard to keep them down in that atmosphere. Hey, we talked about the Aflac trivia question. Here's the answer. In Division 1A, there are 5 schools that do not have university in the official title. 3 of the service academies. Who are the other 2?
Well, I'll take Georgia Tech, and you'll take... Come on, fill in the blank for me. Okay. Hey, we're not bad as a tandem. That was a high five, folks. Very good.
Tied at 21. Peter Warrick comes back into the ball game with Wenke. They took a trip to the sideline to get straightened out on this play. It's going to be third down and 13, and again, this place is rocking.
All right, they'll rush 4 and drop 7 in coverage. There's your 4 that they'll rush.
From the shotgun. Wenke drills it to Warrick. Warrick up to the first down. Takes a step back toward the chain. But he still has enough for the first.
I really think it's such an advantage for Wenke to be 27 years of age. He's older than these quarterbacks starting in the NFL. Manning, Plummer, Baggs, Brian Greasy, Kipman, Air McNair, and Cordell Stewart. He's having the time of his life.
Well, and for those that aren't aware of why he's 27 and still playing college, it's because he signed a pro baseball contract and played baseball for 6 years.
Well, do you realize that, I'm not sure when he started shaving, but I'm just going to guess, and he was probably shaving when Joe Hamilton was in grade school. And he also probably had a couple of years of pro baseball under his belt when Joe was getting ready to go to high school. So he's got a little maturity advantage.
See the numbers he has tonight. Very impressive. 9 of 15. 137 yards and a touchdown. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Second down, and Florida State needs 7. Travis Minor gets a block again from Kendra, and he's got a first down to the 30.
You know, so many times we see quarterbacks audible at the line of scrimmage, and we automatically think pass, pass, pass. Well, Wenke comes up, sees something that he likes in the interior, and he audibles back to a run. And that's hard to do for a quarterback, trust me. And we just talked about his maturity of being older. He told me yesterday that the thing that he has improved upon more than anything else is film study and learning defenses.
On first down, Florida State will throw again. Going deep, looking in the corner. Incomplete. It was intended for Ron Dugans. Let's go back downstairs. Here's Jack.
Tim, you guys are talking dirty. That went from football. He said,
well, we're having problems with that microphone.
got a penalty against the defense. And so they'll move it up against Florida State. 1:21 to play now in the first half. Did they pick that flag up? On second down and 10, they run the screen. This is Chaney. Gets a block, still on his feet. To the 10, Chaney to the 5, Chaney to the 2, Chaney, touchdown, Florida State.
Well, Florida State just keeps throwing them at you. Take a look at, from a defense's perspective, of Jeff Chaney. Hadn't heard of him much. Travis Miner's there, Jeff Chaney, and Nick Maddox. But this guy wants some playing time, Tim. Tough kid.
Dean, just to clarify what took place, there was no flag. It was a sideline warning against Georgia Tech. This is Janikowski who kicks the extra point. It's good, and it's 28-21 now, Seminoles. Take you back to New York now. John Saunders. John?
Coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99, all of these scores and highlights, you know Terry was tough enough. Your brother Tommy, watching him today get his first win with Clemson. Well, you're excited about that. Now I got to sit here while you watch your dad go for a win against Georgia Tech.
Heck, I love this job. I like to watch all the other big games. Penn State, Michigan, Nebraska, and UCLA versus Ohio State.
It's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99.
That's got to be fun for Terry. You know that? Watching Tommy today on ABC and then watching his dad here tonight.
Well, absolutely. I think maybe the line of the week is that Bobby said he's got to love that job. He's undefeated.
He didn't like Terry taking Penn State over Florida State, though, last week. Called him a mama's boy.
Quite a family.
Well, let's see what Georgia Tech can do now with 1:08 remaining in the half. This has been explosive, folks. 28-21, the Seminoles lead it. Hey, Jack, did you get things straightened out?
Hey, Tim, you look at Janikowski and you wonder, is he really a kicker? He looks more like a lineman. In fact, they all kid him about it. So you know what Janikowski did during two-a-days? He was kicking field goals and kicking off, and he grabbed a set of lineman's gloves. It was a 20-yard chip shot for a field goal. He put the lineman's gloves on. He missed it. Off came the gloves. They'll never go back on again.
He's 6'2", 260 pounds, and he's the kicker.
He laughs every second alive except when he's kicking.
And sleeping. I didn't see him at practice the other day. I asked where he was. They said he's in a back room hiding and sleeping. Look at this. Right through the uprights again. He is something. And just a terrific guy to talk to. Well, college football action continues Thursday night. It'll be Colorado State and Brigham Young on ESPN. Thursday night football. Colorado State just housed Colorado at Mile High Stadium. Everybody saw that. Coverage begins with College Game Night presented by Gateway. Colorado State and BYU Thursday night on ESPN.
Sonny Lubick got all over Gary Barnett out in Denver.
Almost a terrible mistake. Tay Cody almost had the interception. You don't want to make a mistake here if you're Georgia Tech.
Joe Hamilton. Here's something you may not have known. Management major. There you see the Grand Marshal Georgia Special Olympics Winter Games. And there his career passing yards. And you know, I told you right off the top that he has averaged 62 yards total offense the first three games. He's obliterated that. He's hoping to add Heisman to that bio.
Well, he's 7 of 9, 216 yards. 1:03 to play in the first half. Once again, the crowd's a factor. Joe buys time, now throws it into the flats. Georgia Tech has a first down and then some, knocked out of bounds at the 42. Goes Joe Burns, but there is a flag. Joe Burns, 5'11", 205-pound sophomore from Thomasville, Georgia. And Georgia Tech has held and played right with Florida State throughout this first half.
The Yellow Jackets can ill afford a mistake here, and George O'Leary knows it.
Well, they certainly can't give up one like they almost did with Tate Cody picking it off and going in and scoring. They really...
Holding by the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. The big second down.
You know, that penalty really puts them in a jam. I mean, before that, you're thinking aggressive. You're thinking go down and get a field goal or tie this thing up. But now you get in a little bit different mode. Well, you have a veteran quarterback. You got to rely on him making good decisions.
Well, it looked like they had the first down up by the 40. Now, instead, it is second down and 20, backed up at the 10. You don't want to shorten the field with Florida State's defense because for them now it's like running downhill. Hamilton with a lot of pressure. Picked off. Gibson. No, it was called incomplete. The ball hit the ground.
Well, if I'm calling plays over there, which I'm not, I think I go ahead and hand this thing off. I let the clock run.
Well, let the record clearly state that Joe Hamilton now has gotten away with 2 of them.
Well, and let the records clearly state that he threw that one very well. You know, just because a ball is thrown well, you know, it takes a great reception, too. That ball was zinged in there.
Spoken like a quarterback, which in fact he was, folks, at Oklahoma. So we're down to 46 seconds in the first half. Tim Brandt, Dean Blevins, Jack Arute with you here at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. This is truly one of the great scenes in all of college football. More than 80,000 here tonight. And all the talk in Tallahassee for the last 10 days has been about the Yellow Jackets coming into Tallahassee trying to take the crown away from Florida State. And a lot of people don't even give Georgia Tech the credit, but they were co-champions in the ACC last year with the Seminoles.
Yeah, you know, we were talking today about the fact that we were hoping that the players from Florida State weren't assuming that they would walk over Georgia Tech the way a lot of fans were. When we get on the elevator today and we say, hey, how you doing? How you think the game's going to go? And the guy from Florida State says, great, for a half. Florida State has proven it can play for this half, and it's just the opposite of last week, Tim. You know, they didn't play well at all against Louisiana Tech. The second half, they were dynamite.
Well, the fans have reason to say that. That, in fact, is the way it has gone the last 6 meetings. But then again, the series record is 7-1.
Fatigue, depth, those will be issues later in this game, and it heavily leans toward Florida State.
It was 94 degrees in Tallahassee today. Third down and 20 for Hamilton. He's got the completion. And I mean to tell you, folks, Watkins was tagged by Brian Allen.
Sometimes players come to you that are not highly recruited. So many of these players are parade All-Americans. It's unbelievable. But this guy was only a third-team All-Stater. And here he is starting and a stud.
Well, it'll bring up 4th and 14 for Georgia Tech. But this should end the first half. Down to 2 seconds. We're out of here. What a first half that has been. Florida State 28. Georgia Tech 21. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Good financial decisions require expertise. Life needs flexibility. Success demands leadership. If there's something you want to achieve, the principal has one word of advice. Plan ahead, get ahead. The Principal Financial Group.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, I got my baby back ribs.
Should I get the stretcher?
No. We need Coach Wooden.
Family values.
Something stronger.
Spiritual renewal?
Not now.
The desire to win.
Perfect.
Well, set to start the second half in Tallahassee. The Seminoles of Florida State lead Georgia Tech by a touchdown. Very exciting first half. Absolutely no turnovers and a lot of scoring.
Well, it's been a heavyweight fight. This got the stuff going. You can Warwick in the end zone as a quarterback.
Then Georgia Tech came right back. The 80-yard touchdown pass to Des White.
And then it comes back to Kendra. He gets a pass. That's the first time. 7-14.
Not to be outdone, here comes Joe Hamilton from 19 yards out.
Well, time for me now, Florida State to come back. Minor, 18 yards. Great block by Kendra. It's 21-14. And then Campbell gets this one. A short dump off on a third down situation. He goes 56 yards, and then
the final score of the half, Chaney 29-yard touchdown pass from Wanky, and that's where we are. 28-21, Florida State leading Georgia Tech. Now, Florida State will have the ball first to start the second half, and if you look at this, here is the Sebastian Janikowski effect. Georgia Tech has not returned a kickoff because Janikowski has kicked them right out of the end zone. But Florida State has 83 yards in return, so it's 83-0 yardage-wise just on kickoff returns. He has a huge effect in a ball game.
He sure does. That's a great way to illustrate it. And Coach O'Leary knows that even though his club had less plays than Florida State, they made the most of them with a 56 and an 80-yard touchdown.
Well, Philip Newman will kick off once he gets the ball teed properly. And deep for Florida State will be Lavernius Coles and Jermaine Stringer. And Georgia Tech has to be very careful now to cover and then let the defense do its job so as not to fall 2 touchdowns behind in this game, because the history has shown over the last 7 meetings that they have just been blown out of the stadium the last half of the ball game. Lavernius Coles takes the low kick, puts it on the ground, now gets a block. Here he goes, and Coles out to the 30. Let's go downstairs. Here's Jack Arute.
Tim, you're so right about what the defense has to do. George O'Leary talked to the defense at halftime, and he said, fellas, look, I like the play, but the problem that you've got right now, you're not making tackles. He said, you get in, you don't wrap your arms around them, you don't come down and bring them down. He was very upset about that, talked about it at length at halftime. One guy that wasn't in there at halftime, Kelly Campbell, their wide receiver. He's having x-rays for a possible fractured jaw.
Boy, you hate to hear that. Thanks, Jack. Look at George O'Leary. He's not happy now. There is a flag down on the play, and it looks like it's going to go against Florida State. And it'll be holding, I believe. You know, with that said, and George O'Leary not happy with the way they're tackling or wrapping their arms, you have to remember now, they're playing three true freshmen on that defense.
Yeah, that's amazing. Playing the 3 freshmen.
Holding by the return team, 10 yards, first down.
So that'll be the 5th penalty against Florida State. Penalties all even at 5 apiece. But again, I tell you, we have not had a turnover in this ball game.
Well, that was Gathers, and that was one of the true freshmen at defensive end. He is a great-looking player. There's another one, Wimbush, the outstanding middle linebacker. He is athletic. He can fly around. And then not in the ball game right now, Selvin Scott, a cornerback.
Keep in mind, those players 9 months ago were playing high school ball. Now here they are in front of 80,000 and primetime television. Wanky to throw on first down, throws, and has the completion. And so they move the chains. That ball complete to Morgan, and so they have the first down. Speaking of Morgan, take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half statistics.
How about this? 299, 296. But the total plays so far in this game, 28 for the guys in white, 41 for the other team.
That ball was intended for Warwick, overthrown. Good coverage by Georgia Tech.
You know what Georgia Tech did, though? Even though they had 13 less plays, Tim, they made up for it. Anytime you have a 56-yard touchdown and an 80, that'll make up for a few plays. So tonight we have our stars being stars, don't we?
Sure do. Second down and 10 for Florida State. Wanky gives it to Travis Minor, and he finds it tough going up the middle. Again, the freshman Wimbush steps up and does a nice job stopping the play. You know, in the last 3 years, Florida State has had 6 touchdowns of 40 or more yards against Georgia Tech. Big plays have just killed the Jackets, and tonight, Florida State has had 17-yard touchdown, a 3-yard touchdown pass from Wanky. Minor had an 18-yarder, so they're avoiding the huge plays. Here's Wanky on third down, has it complete. This is Warwick to the 48-yard line. A first first down. Wimbush makes the stop.
Well, it's almost automatic with that tandem. That time Tech was soft in the secondary. They're trying to disguise their coverages. From Winky's viewpoint, he looks left. He knows he's coming back to number 9. Simple curl route underneath. Easy pickup.
Peter Warrick has his 6th catch of the game. He goes out of the ball game. Dugans comes in for him. First down, Seminoles. The out pattern intended for Coles, poorly thrown. It was behind him.
And it's not as though Coles hasn't practiced. He's been practicing because they had expected that he would be cleared to play, although it just came late yesterday.
Were you surprised by the first half?
No, I thought it would be a high-scoring game. I guess I'm just pleased that Georgia Tech was able to answer the bell. I felt that Florida State was going to be explosive. There you see the offensive numbers. So at this pace, I guess Warrick has 208 yards, and Hamilton on the other side's numbers are even bigger.
Although I'll tell you, I think this defensive series right here is critical for the Yellow Jackets. Here's Kendra picks up 2. And I say that because if Georgia Tech falls 2 touchdowns behind, you have that feeling among young players they could say, here we go again.
Well, I hope this is the last time we have to say this, but it is such an important factor. The depth issue favors Florida State tremendously, and with a hot, humid night here, those players are tired, especially at a fast pace here that Florida State is forcing.
3rd down and 7 for Florida State. Winky out of the shotgun. Great protection. Now he runs to the 45, to the 42-yard line, close to a first down. It'll depend on the mark. Merrick Watson made the stop. Not often you see Wenke run. He even says he's not that quick-footed quarterback.
Yeah, he says that he's not. Here you have the 3 rushers. 1, 2, 3. You're dropping 8. 11 guys out there, so that means 8 guys are going to try to stop Wenke and his receivers. So there's a lane. Can you make the first down? He is not very fast. Was he fast enough to pick it up? Watson on the tackle.
Well, he actually got a terrific mark.
Well, the officials are calling him sir.
Boy, that's close. That's close. Less than a foot. It's a matter of inches. The crowd wants Florida State to go for it on 4th down, and there is no question that they come out quickly. Out of the huddle.
This is Kendra.
Kendra is the quarterback. 255-pounders. You can bet there'll be a quarterback sneak with Kendra.
Did this in practice the other day. He's going right up the middle.
He got it.
These guys are innovative, huh?
He is a load.
You know, you've seen 3 different guys take snaps, although there's another flag down.
And it's against the defense. You talk about the number of weapons they have for Florida State and how innovative the play calling is. Kendra still has not thrown a pass, but you can bet eventually there will be a fullback pass.
Illegal participation by the defense. 12 men on the field. 15 yards, first down.
Second time that's happened tonight, and sometimes that's the best way to defend Florida State if you don't get caught.
Number 4, Anquan Bolden, not in the game. He's hurt, but when he's in, the true freshman who's a dynamite player, was a great high school quarterback. That means they'll have 4 quarterbacks on the field from high school. Peter Warrick was one, Kendra, Winky, and then 4. They got 7 guys. They got 4 guys who can throw.
Florida State's had 2.5 minutes already in the second half. They're going for the corner. Here's Warrick at the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. Peter Warrick. 26 yards. Wanky to Warrick for the touchdown.
Warrick ends up one-on-one coverage. The eyes of the quarterback gets big because Jamar Clark gets beaten on the play. That's an easy touchdown, and that's exactly what Winky was talking about yesterday, his favorite route to his favorite receiver.
So Janikowski comes on. He splits the sticks. Another point for the Seminoles, and it is 35-21 Florida State as the Seminoles now methodically start to pull away under the direction of Chris Wanky.
I'm going right by you. Hey, y'all, give me some help.
You getting tired? You need some oxygen? All right, come on. Number one. Come on. Give me all. Come on.
check.
Are you crazy? No, Johnny, don't. I got saved. No, Johnny! Johnny, I'm telling your mother. This isn't funny. Okay, sweetie, is that you? Johnny! I got him. Oh, thank goodness. Johnny? Can I have yours?
Sure, we're going to see the top-ranked Seminoles play NC State next Saturday. Well, Coach, what did you tell your Chargers during halftime?
We simply tried to correct mistake. We can't. There's a different type of wishbone we haven't seen. We think we've got some adjustments that make a difference. But if we'll quit missing our assignment. Now, they got a couple of picks on us on those big ones. Legally, all the way, you simply have got to stop the big play.
That touchdown had to help.
Boy, yeah, we needed that one. Yeah.
And Florida State has scored in its last 5 possessions. It is a machine, and again, there's no return. Well, it's not a question of whether Tech's defense will be good. They will be good, but just when, because they don't have the experience.
There's the Janikowski effect again, the 6th straight touchback.
All right, we said it was time for Georgia Tech to make a stop defensively. They didn't, so that means now the pressure is really on Joe Hamilton and his offense. They need to go score points here to have a chance to win this one.
But they can't panic. Way too early for that. 35-21 Florida State, 12:20 to play, third period. A lot of pressure on Hamilton, and he's going to lose yardage. Jamal Reynolds got there in a hurry. And you have the feeling that this game has changed dramatically. Well, a loss of 9.
Tim, the halftime speech that Mickey Andrews gave him last week after a poor performance in the first half, Tim Rattay just eating them up. That one worked against Louisiana Tech. I think he called on the same halftime speech. The intensity will be turned up.
Second down and 19. And the crowd all over Joe Hamilton now. 3-step drop throw to the flats. Great coverage by the Seminoles. They didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Joe Burns picked up a couple. He's out to the 15. Here are the numbers on Joe Hamilton. The last 3 games against Florida State, 187 yards, and tonight, 257.
Well, wouldn't it be really ironic if he goes for like 460 total yardage and 4 touchdowns, which would be duplicating a second half like the first, and lose.
Third down and 15. Hamilton under pressure, sacked. Roland Seymour. He has 10.5 career sacks now. You don't want to get 3rd and long against Florida State.
Seymour, Reynolds trying to contain Joe Hamilton. Doing a great job.
So Tech will be punting out of its own end zone, and you bet they're coming. Pressure. Gets the punt off, and Reggie Durden will not have a chance to return it. But boy, will the Seminoles have great field position. There is a flag right at the goal line. It was only a 36-yard punt. And this will be against Florida State, I believe, for roughing the kicker.
Well, 5 or 15. If it's 15,
running into the kicker's 5, you're right.
Yeah. If it's 15, it's a first down. I think it's 15. That'll be 15. Woo! And that's a good call. Dan Dyke is fortunate.
And that will be a first down for Georgia Tech, so the Yellow Jackets get a huge break. Folks, I want to tell you something. This is what Georgia Tech is trying to avoid. Now, they have won the battle in the first quarter in the past, the last 6 games, but you see they've been outscored badly in the last 3 quarters. Now, they played a strong second quarter. We'll see what they can do here in the third. And oh, is the crowd in it now at Doak Campbell Stadium.
We haven't called Corey Simon's name a lot tonight. He's a high draft choice this next year.
So Joe Hamilton now gets a little bit of room. Fumble. There's a flag down. Joe put the ball in the fullback, tried to ride and then pull it back out, and you see a lot of that in the option. They both tried to hold on, and it went to the ground.
He's reading the 2 technique, the person coming down, the player coming down for the fullback. And miscommunication sometimes happens. Joe looks over, reads. He wants the ball out. The fullback, or right side of the frame here, the fullback clasps down too hard, and that's the cause of the fumble, and Georgia Tech fortunate to retain possession.
No penalty. They picked up the flag. It'll be second down and 10, and Joe Hamilton wants a timeout. 10:01 to play, third quarter. 35-21 Florida State. Right now, Georgia Tech is up against it.
Second quarter figures show a strong uptick in gross revenues with a corresponding increase in pre-tax profits. The market, of course, looked upon this very favorably, and the resulting surge in our stock price brings our market capitalization to within 10% of year-end projections. To elaborate on what this means for the company, I'd like to turn the floor over to our chairman.
Where will you be when the millennium turns? Your dreams change. So have we. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level. The world will change, but at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we will always measure success, one investor at a time.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win-your-way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
It's a hot night in Tallahassee. An ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform, be different. Just for Men blends away gray hair in 5 minutes. Looks so natural no one can tell. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And by, well, you got it. When we have it your way, it just tastes better. Second down and 10 for Tech. The option. The late pitch. On the corner, first down. Joe Burns picks up the first down. They'll move the charts. Now let's go back to New York. Here's John Saunders.
Tim, Ohio State's struggling a bit at home against UCLA. This is Freddie Mitchell, reverse fools everyone. He takes it 33 yards down to the 7-yard line. On the next play, Deshaun Foster would take it in from 7 yards out. UCLA has moved to within 4 points, 21-17.
John, that's impressive when you think of all the guys that UCLA does not have playing tonight because of all the suspensions. Playing on the road, Everybody's really saying this is a young team, a rebuilding team. For next year's the year they think they're going to make a run at the national title out in Westwood.
Well, there have been a lot of questions about the defense as well. You know, they've come up with their third coordinator in 3 years. Bob Fields, the guy now. And yeah, all I know in Columbus, they may be scratching their heads and hollering at Cooper after this one. John's a good coach, though.
Second down and 9 for Hamilton and the Jackets. Early pitch. Big hole. Rogers across midfield into Florida State territory, and again a first down for Georgia Tech.
You know, they had the miscommunication 3 plays ago with the quarterback and the fullback. This time, perfect execution. Quarterback stuck right in the chin. You pitch that one perfect. Good block out in front. And, you know, speed is wonderful on defense, but sometimes option football, you have to, there's a man there that has to tackle the quarterback, and he wasn't there on that play.
Play action. Hamilton looks deep, goes deep, has Des White complete inside the 15. Des White with a layout catch. Another first down for Georgia Tech, and Hamilton's on a roll. 34-yard pickup.
Wide receivers had to make big plays tonight. Des White has taken one to the house for 80, and that one, Tim, he really stretched out. I didn't think he was going to get there on this one. Here we'll see him in isolation. Des White against Tay Cody. Takes him out and up. Cody beaten. Perfect pass from Hamilton, and great reception.
Des White was third in the conference just a year ago, behind only Torrey Holt and Peter Warrick. First down inside the 15. Georgia Tech threatening again. Hamilton on the corner. Down to the 11. Let's go downstairs to Jack.
Timmy, there's an unusual mood on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets sideline. It's a mood of confidence. They are tired. They are spent. But they're not putting their hands on their hips. They're not taking a knee. Instead, they're rejuvenating themselves by watching Joe Hamilton in the offense. In fact, they go around and talk to each other to try and pump each other up. They know that they are still in for what Bobby Bowden called a gall-dang war.
Hey, Jack, are you surprised that they're not sitting down when they're out of the game? For instance, the defense now. I'm surprised they aren't on the bench trying to rest their legs.
They're sending a message, Tim, that they're still in this thing.
Second down and 7. And a timeout is taken by the Yellow Jackets. 7 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the third period. The Jackets are threatening.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Hey, Daisy, I ever tell you I did some modeling before I got on TV, much like yourself?
Really? Where?
Department store underwear ads, mainly.
Hey, would you like to join me and my friends while we go try on some new thongs?
Yeah.
You know, we models drink Miller Lite because it's so smooth.
But you know, I drink Miller Lite because it tastes great.
See, I knew it. You're no model.
Oh, I am wearing a thong. Backwards, I think.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You want to see?
Play Burger King's Win Your Way college football game. With a new game every week, you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, a trip to a bowl game, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better.
You'll find a place.
'Cause you're downtown.
Good Morning America's moving to Times Square Monday.
A critical drive for Georgia Tech. Second down at the 11. The Yellow Jackets need 7, and again, play is stopped with a whistle. And Florida State takes a timeout.
Well, while there's timeout on the field, we'll take care of a little business as Joe Hamilton tries to get squared away with George O'Leary. That time it was Florida State all fouled up on defense.
Yeah, first time Joe saw something he didn't like, and then Florida State saw something.
Hey, Dino, Tuesday, September 21st, Mike meets his match when Heather Locklear joins Spin City in the season premiere. Plus a really angry Yankee all-star, Roger Clemens. See you Tuesday, September 21st, the season premiere of Spin City. Roger.
Hadn't had the greatest of years, but he's on a winning club, isn't he?
Joe Hamilton very conscious not to try to do too much himself. He knows that's the fastest way to take his 10 teammates out of the game, and he spread the ball around effectively, although it has been Hamilton with the big plays, and of course Des White with the 2 huge catches in the ball game thus far. Had the 80-yard touchdown, and then the big catch here in this drive, a 34-yard pickup. See what Hamilton has done tonight. 10 of 13, 261 yards.
You know, they barely got in the red zone for the 19-yard Hamilton run. You know, you don't get in the red zone when you have an 80-yarder and a 59-yarder.
Jack, what's the latest with Joe Hamilton?
Hamilton looks good, guys. And, you know, maybe one of the reasons why he looks good is he hails from a little town in South Carolina. Told me that he said, growing up, we could either play football or watch football. So I said, what did you watch? He said, I watched CFL, I watched the NFL, I watched arena football, I watched Monday Night Football. He said, I know all the nuances from television.
From Alvin, South Carolina. We'll see what he does here. Second down and long. On the corner, throws, has the complete. Watkins, touchdown, Georgia Tech. A pickup of 11 for the touchdown, and Georgia Tech on the board again. Oh, is he special?
Well, you got to love Joe Hamilton. What a leader. And watch him now. It's a straight sprint out. Watch him turn his shoulders. Going left, it's a much harder throw. He gets his shoulders turned, finds Watkins. We talked about him earlier. This guy is going to be good.
To 28 with 7:34 to play in the third quarter.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Select road. Validating tires.
With BF Goodrich tires, it's any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires, take control.
There he is. Kerry Watkins, the redshirt freshman who just caught that touchdown.
Motion, sprint out. Clevan Thomas will come into your screen a little late. Number 8. Little soft. Touchdown. The numbers for Joe are awesome.
Joe Hamilton 11 for 14 now, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Shotgun, option, sprint out, bootleg. Whatever you want, 14 gets it.
He's going to be a talent, Kerry Watkins.
You hear what he said? Said, we're going to win this game, baby.
He won that wide receiver job from John Myers in the spring. Philip Newman kicking off. Cole and Stringer. And Cole downs it in the end zone. 7:29 to play in the third quarter. A lot of scoring. We'll see now if the defense can hold. And it has been the defense that has been suspect. As a matter of fact, Dino, we knew that Georgia Tech was going to score a lot of points. I mean, they average as many points as anybody in the country, into the 30s. But it was the defense with 3 true freshmen playing a lot of time tonight for George O'Leary that we were wondering if they could stop the best team in the country.
Yeah, they're young. They will be good. But you know, this isn't a good team to be gaining experience on, and not this time of year, especially when they had a week off, as Florida State did.
Well, here they go. Wanky out of the shotgun. Has the completion.
Oh, that's a highlight for a tight end around here. They don't catch him off.
That's Ryan Sprague, former walk-on, also played center here at Florida State.
You know, last year, Nick Franklin was the leading tight end receiver. He only had 3 catches for the year. They don't go to the tight end very much. Franklin out with a knee injury. And so Ryan Sprague playing tonight. Second down and about 4. Travis Minor breaks the tackle, and they finally take him down. They lose yardage. Loss of about 2 for Minor. Merrick Watson and Burrow and Eccles made the tackle.
Bobby Bowden and staff respect Tech. I guess they like Claybrooks and Gathers on the end because they have not run reverses the way they typically do.
Third down and 4. From behind center, the pass is complete. And there he is. He's got the first down. Peter Warwick is having a terrific night. That is 7 catches now for Warwick. And again, Florida State goes to the hurry-up.
Georgia Tech trying to confuse Winkie. They're in and out of coverages, but all I know is that when they have third and they need something around 10, they're too soft, and Warwick, who's off now, is able to hook up under for an easy completion.
First down, and Yellow Jackets came across the line. It looked like they moved first. Were they drawn? Florida State says this will be against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think it's Claybrooks.
Just a terrific game to watch. 35-28.
Georgia Tech's just got to make them punt.
Offside by the defense. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down. Please reset the game clock to 6:06.
So they're going to reset the game clock to 6:06. The penalty is against the defense, so it'll be first down and 5. And Florida State anxious to snap. Again from under center.
Good man coverage out here on the right. Nope, don't go this way.
Minor gets a block on the corner. This close to another first down. Terrific block out on the corner by Ross Brandon.
Well, I'm happy that Ross Brandon's knee is hanging in there because that was a major concern coming in here for the all-ACC player.
Ross Brandon is 6'8", 310 pounds. He's a junior from Marietta, Georgia, so he really wanted to play badly against Georgia Tech. But he had his knee drained last Friday and really is in a lot of pain.
Haven't heard from number 9 lately.
Here's Travis Minor again. He gets a tough couple yards. That's it.
Just when you think he might be a non-factor, wouldn't be surprised if he pops in there and makes a play. Yeah, Joe Hamilton did his part as the playmaker on his team. Number 9 might be ready to respond.
Dan Kendrick comes back into the ball game as a fullback. This is play action. Winkie throws in the direction of Coles. Incomplete. And again, there's a flag dropped. Flag was dropped at the line of scrimmage. This may be holding against Florida State, although it was a late flag. It is holding against Florida State.
Well, I thought there possibly would be a call on the sideline for a late hit. You know,
holding by the defense, by the offense, 10 yards, previous spot. Repeat first down.
Well, the defense gets a little bit of a break here as they back up the Seminoles. George O'Leary really needs to stop badly.
He wants to see a punter in red go out there.
Peter Warwick back in the ball game. Winkie from under center. Pro set. Play action. Again with time. Throws. Has it complete. This is Bell. And Bell is down to the 35-yard line. Move the chains.
Well, if Peter Warwick isn't enough, then we'll throw G-String, Jermaine Stringer in there. If not him, you got Coles, you got Dugans, you got Bolden, you got Morgan. Now we left out Bell. These guys, they just come out of the woodwork.
Loses yardage. Terrific play by the linebacker Nick Rogers, 38. You know, George O'Leary's first year at Tech, he played 13 true freshmen. That number dropped to 9 the next year, only 4 a year ago. And now he has 3 true freshmen playing a lot, 2 starting. But he has totally resurrected and rebuilt this Georgia Tech football program from ground up. After they won the national championship in 1990, the program fell apart. And he's built it back up to prominence. This is Chaney, and he's in trouble, trying to get some blocks. Sidesteps 2 tacklers, and is finally knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line, actually the 41, and so he loses a yard or 2. Good pursuit by the Georgia Tech defense.
I think when they go back and look at film on this thing, or tape as it is today, coaches might say, you know, when number 9 wants to reverse field, and that's okay, because he's going to maybe score a touchdown, but too many times they reverse field.
Here's your quarterback, Wanky. Wanky is down in the bottom left of the screen, and now the quarterback is Peter Warrick. Warrick will run it to the left side. Breaks 2 tackles, sidesteps another, picks up a blocker. Look out! Peter Warrick to the 29.
Well, there's Warrick we were talking about him a moment ago, and actually talking about the reverse. He comes right back to the next play. But Georgia Tech gets a stop. All right, here's Winky down here at the bottom. Georgia Tech's as confused as they were in the first half, but this is pure athleticism. This guy's a special talent. But Georgia Tech does save 4 points and maybe 7.
Sebastian Janikowski comes on now to attempt a 46-yarder. So Georgia Tech has made a stop. We'll see if Janikowski can capitalize. He's the All-American. Plenty of distance, and it's good.
Well, Tim, sort of a moral victory for Georgia Tech, and they at least get to rest their defense, because had Florida State extended that series, they get worn out even more, and depth is a concern.
Jack, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think in deference to equal time for Heisman Trophy candidates, we've got to talk about Peter Warrick. We talked about Joe Hamilton, Heisman Joe. Well, unlike Joe Hamilton, nothing is being done by Florida State's SID department. Instead, they've turned it over to the student body. The student body has gone with T-shirts, 9 for $99, and the Heisman. This is a student-run organization. They sell these T-shirts. They promote Peter Warrick for the Heisman Trophy. I guess I'm trying to sell you guys, because I know you two have a vote.
Well, it's easy to sell somebody like Peter Warrick, I'll tell you that. Well, 8 catches, 142 yards tonight. Look at these numbers. And 3 runs for 26 yards and the 2 touchdowns on the evening.
Well, we talked about 15 touches. There's 11 of them right there.
So Sebastian Janikowski will kick off again. Deep for Georgia Tech is Des White and Joe Burns.
They might as well not go back there, Tim. Although we might be into a little bit of a breeze here.
Not a good kick this time. There will be a chance for a return. This one will go out of bounds. So the flag will come out, and Georgia Tech will get pretty good field position. Well, on ESPN, it is the season opener of Sunday Night Football. The new Cleveland Browns return to face Cordell Stewart and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's Sunday night, and that should be fun to watch. And don't forget Monday Night Football. Terrell Davis and the 2-time defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos battle Miami. The 30th anniversary season of Monday Night Football kicks off Monday, live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on ABC Sports.
Bet you didn't know Mike Shanahan was a graduate assistant when I played football at Oklahoma, just a young guy. Never know where those guys are going to end up, but he's as good as there is in the business. What a nice guy, too.
Hey, this is the best starting field position for the Yellow Jackets tonight. After the ball went out of bounds, they bring it to the 35. Play action for Hamilton. Throws into the flats. Has it complete. A first down to Andrew Jeske, the tight end. So we have not called his name much. They get the tight end into the play, and they move the chains. Pick up of 11.
Well, they use Andrew Jeske and sometimes Matt Bay as the 2 tight ends as an H-back, fullback position. Big intriguing series right here. I mean, they're right back in this thing right now, but it really gets interesting if they take it and score.
Well, Joe Hamilton's given him fits. He's run the option. He's put pressure on the corners. He's tested their flood control and contain, and he's thrown the ball well. Pretty good run right here by Rogers.
You know, he's sort of a typical O'Leary back. He's a good receiver. He's a good blocker. He runs for power. He's got a little bit of a burst. And he sees the field really well. That was a tough run right there.
Philip Rogers is 6'1", 230 pounds. He was George O'Leary's very first recruit 5 years ago when George O'Leary took over as the head coach. He said, I need a big back, and he got one with Philip Rogers. Second down and short. Call it 4. Play clock's down to 1. He's got to snap it. Now calls timeout to avoid the penalty. And that will be it. That'll be the last timeout for Georgia Tech. Ralph Friedgen's not happy about it. You know, he will get all over Joe Hamilton.
Right.
He's almost been like a father figure to Joe. He's been a mentor to him. He's taught him the game. He's made him more mature. But I'll tell you what, he'll get in his face. And he didn't want him to take the final timeout here.
No timeouts left is not good.
Hey, while we have a chance, let's take you back to New York. John Saunders and the play of the day.
In fact, the win your way Burger King play of the day. Notre Dame and Purdue. Jarius Jackson trying to mount the game-winning drive, but he gets sacked. 3rd and goal. Gets up, tries to get his troops to the line of scrimmage to get a final playoff, a chance to beat Purdue. But as you watch, the time clicked down. 4th and goal. The ball eventually is snapped, but after it hits the zeros, Notre Dame, time runs out. 28-23, Purdue.
I don't think Notre Dame fans think that's the play of the day.
Don't forget, tomorrow on ABC Sports, you can see one of golf's greats. Tom Watson makes his senior PGA debut in the Comfort Classic. That's live at 3 Eastern time right here, ABC Sports. Second down and 4 for Georgia Tech. Dangerous pitch, but Georgia Tech has the first. Ball's loose, helmet flies. It's a helmet. Rogers picks up the first, I do believe.
I hope when they pull that helmet up, there's not a head inside. You know, Joe was telling us yesterday that he pitches to a spot, and I don't know many quarterbacks who run option who pitch to a spot every time.
Well, that was dangerous. Great one-handed grab by Rogers. Grabbed onto the ball, but lost his helmet and is a little bit shaken up. Lee Van Thomas comes into the ball game on defense for Florida State. First down for the Jackets. Play action. Hamilton in trouble, and he's sacked. Oh, what a play by Reynolds, the end, who came clean, and he's got his 5th sack in the last 12 games.
Well, they're expecting big things out of Jamal Reynolds. He is really a talented guy. He's one of them that runs under 4.5, and he uses that speed here. It's on the left part of your screen. He didn't get blocked. That was a busted assignment. That made it easy.
That's the 3rd sack of the night tonight against Joe Hamilton. So we're now backed up, 2nd down. They need 17 and run a draw. Nothing. Florida State not fooled. This time it's Corey Simon, the All-American, the senior defensive captain.
Well, he's listed at 6'4". He's only about 6'2", but he's 280, and what an impressive guy in person. But on the field, he is terrific.
Boy, he's got a great motor. He'll get after you. You see the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. 33 seconds in the 3rd. Joe Hamilton and Georgia Tech need 17 yards. They're going to get some, but not all of it here. They'll still need about 7 or 8 more.
I'm surprised he made that throw, because Joe knew the yardage he needed to pick up, and he had Watkins that would have been in 1st down territory that was fairly open. You know, Hamilton is a heady player. That one surprised me there. And it's a lot easier. tougher fight up here than it is on the field with guys who run 4.4 and 4.5 here, 280 chasing them.
Well, Dan Dyke comes on to kick for Georgia Tech, and he'll try to kick it to a corner. Reggie Durden is standing at the 10-yard line.
Look at the dance going on here. I noticed him last week against Navy doing a little dance and looked nervous. He's a good punter.
This kick will be close. Did they save it?
Yes.
They said he didn't go into the end zone, so this will be a terrific kick by Dyke. And it'll be downed at the 6-yard line by Des White, who's playing a terrific game. Boy, I thought he went into the end zone when he touched that ball.
Did it cross the plane is the question.
I thought when he was in the end zone, he touched the ball. And now they'll reverse their call, and they'll bring it out to the 20. I believe. Wait a minute. No, they're going to leave it there at the 6. What do you think?
They're calling it the ball did not cross the plane.
What do you think?
I thought it was a good call.
So 8 seconds remaining in the quarter, and Florida State's backed up. Georgia Tech needs something positive defensively. Here comes the fake reverse. That'll take them out to the 11. And that will end the third quarter. Well, this game has had it all, folks. 38-28, ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
What do you call hamburgers that are grilled one at a time by a person? Absolutely delicious. Chili's Big Mouth Burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
It slammed headlong into conventional wisdom. It stamped the terms V10 and Magnum Power indelibly on the face of truckdom. It kicked open the door to the next generation of pickups and made such an impression that today, this is all you have to see to know what's behind it. Dodge Ram. Different.
Ponder this. What makes Chili's Awesome Blossom so awesome? It is chopped, battered, and the rest is top secret because only Chili's has mastered the art of the onion.
Letztendlich.
Miami, Denver, Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Everybody would love to have this. The secret to my original recipe chicken. No mystery about it. It's finger-licking good. With my 11 herbs and spices cooked up so moist and tender. It's 11 heaven.
And right now, get 10 pieces of the Colonel's original recipe chicken for just $8.99. Hurry to KFC.
At KFC, we do chicken right, because we got the secret. What you looking at?
Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. With the most stress-resistant frame in its class and over 2,000 pounds of available payload capacity, the Tundra's tough enough to do the work of some of the biggest trucks on Earth. And it's a lot easier to park. Introducing the new four-door Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Depend on Dave Staley tonight on News Channel 9 at 11.
Well, this is ABC Sports, home of the best in college football, and they are enjoying this game in Tallahassee. 38-28 is our score. Florida State leads, and now we enter the final 15 minutes.
Well, they were playing to get to the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech, that was a goal coming in. There you see the numbers through 3, 10-point game. And the bad news is that Florida State has the football, and they've only punted once tonight.
Second down for Weinke and Florida State. They need 6. They got 3. So it'll bring up third down. Travis Minor has had an active evening. Had over 600 rushing yards as a freshman. Last year he had a banner season, and no one more success this year than Travis Minor. First-team all-conference guy. He has 19 carries, 104 yards tonight. He has started here for Florida State for 3 straight years. 3rd down and 3. Florida State may have, or Georgia Tech may have jumped. And the ball is almost intercepted, but there are flags down. Looked like Merrick Watson came across early, tried to anticipate the count. Boy, that's tough. They've got them in 3rd down and make a good defensive play and kill themselves with the penalty, giving Florida State the first.
Yep, that is one you just can't have happen. You've got to watch the football. You know, I think earlier in the ball game, Joe Hamilton was having success with his cadence drawing Florida State off, and I think that's what happened there because you got to watch the ball.
I think that's more of a fatigue type mistake. You know, they're a little anxious, a little less disciplined. It's a very hot evening in Tallahassee. Here's Minor, breaks the tackle, sidesteps another one. Travis Minor after the 30, and close to another Florida State first down.
You know, Travis Minor has a lot to prove to this staff. And they've openly admitted that he has been around. He started the 3 years that you talked about. He's been a little hurt. And he just needs to get back to the form they're accustomed to playing.
He got a terrific block from Lavernius Coles. Here's Minor again. They're going to melt some clock here. They're going to let Minor run. And then lull Georgia Tech defense into that security, and all of a sudden they come up with a big play. Injured Florida State player down about the 35-yard line.
Well, both of the coaches said that their teams had not established an identity for themselves coming into tonight's game.
It looks like Kendra. Boy, he has had some problems with injuries. Of course, the most severe was the knee. He worked his way back through that. 13:58 to play here. Let's take you back to New York and get the latest from Columbus, Ohio. John?
Seen a lot of turnovers in Columbus. UCLA turns it over again, and then Jamar Martin from about 3 yards out knocks it across with a touchdown. The Buckeyes looking for their first win of the season, 28-17. This game has just gone to the 4th quarter. Tim.
All right, John, thanks. That game just going to the 4th quarter. We have 13:58 remaining in this ball game here. It'll be 2nd down and 5 once we get back. Kendra's still down, and while he's down on the ground, let's take a break.
I'm going to raise you.
Fold. Too rich for me.
I fold. Call.
A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always beats 3 of a kind. And 2,
Wanky gives it to Chaney, and Chaney doesn't have a whole lot of room. Chaney out near the 40-yard line, not enough for the first. Temper starting to flare. There's frustration on both sides of the ball. It has been a hot, exhausting evening for all the players. Hey, Jack, what's the deal with Dan Kendra?
Well, you said it, hot, exhausting evening. Early in the season, what happens in those conditions is people cramp up. That's precisely the case with Dan Kendra. They feel now that if they hydrate him, get him out of the game for a couple of plays, maybe he can just come back.
You know, we heard Mark Rick tell us he's carrying a little extra weight. Chaney drops this. This could be a lateral. And they're going to bring out a late flag. You know, I'm not sure there should be a flag. I thought it was a lateral. Well,
it was a... It's hard if there's any indecision to pull back. I heard the whistle up here, so surely Clark heard it from down there.
We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Well, it was not a lateral, but it certainly looked like it could have been. And from his angle on defense, he could not have been certain. That's a live ball if it's a lateral. So it is forward, but see, as a defensive back, he does not know that. So Clark comes up and makes the tackle, or tries to make a hit, well, and they throw the
right, and Chaney was sort of going after the ball. But I think one of the reasons, and remember, he is a freshman. Well, he's not a freshman. But I think that one of the reasons that call might have been made is that earlier in the ball game, a call did not go against them that should have.
Clark, a junior, the best cover guy for Georgia Tech. So now it's first down. Rolls to the left, has plenty of time. Looking for Coles. Coles has it. Oh, no. Pass interference. Looked like he made the reception. Tillman pulled him down, and the pass interference was called.
Well, it's 15 yards, so Georgia Tech fans, it doesn't go down to the 2-yard line. Tillman's the best defensive back in the secondary, but he gets beat. It's a busted call. He knows it. He thinks he might give up a touchdown. And he's thinking the game is out of control. It's a 10-point game. It goes to 17, and it's basically over if you get there.
You know what, Dean? That is experience from the senior. He did not like the coverage they had outside. He saw that it could have been a touchdown, and actually did that on purpose, as you said, to get the 15 rather than give up the 6. Here's the pitch back. This is Maddox. Maddox breaks the tackle and then loses a big chunky yardage. So the freshman, the true freshman out of North Carolina, loses yardage.
Tim, he's a roommate with the freshman we've not seen tonight because of injury, Anquan Bolda, but you will hear about this wide receiver. Now that's a bunk bed worth of unlimited talent there. The only roommates down here that might have been better, Randy Moss was roommates with Warwick at one time.
Second down and 16 now for the Noles. Here's the draw to Maddox. Really hit hard at the 29-yard line. Not nearly enough for the first.
Well, an unusual tackle. The play before, as we watched 37. Watch Maddox. He's tackled by the wrist and perhaps the wristband. At least slowed down by the wristband.
Whatever works. Third down for the Seminoles. They need 7. Backside pressure, almost intercepted.
That's a rare opportunity for Georgia Tech there. Down 10, 11 minutes to go. They really need a stop. To get a turnover would have been wonderful for them. And he doesn't throw them very often.
Don't forget, coming up a little bit later, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll select the Chevrolet Player of the Game from each team in recognition of these athletes. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each university's General Scholarship Fund. And beginning this year, Chevrolet will also make a donation to each player's high school. So Sebastian Janikowski comes on now. Tavares Tillman almost had the interception. This field goal attempt is from 45 yards out. Janikowski has made a 70-yarder in practice. Strong leg. Plenty of distance. Splits the sticks and add 3 more. 41-28 with 11:20 to play.
I'm going to raise you.
Fold. Too rich for me.
Not fold. Call.
A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always means 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
You know what I want.
Yeah, me too.
Don't come back with that one. You know what I want. And don't come back with that one.
I only got the one.
Don't come back with that one.
Where's the next store? Yuma, 150 miles. Oh, too bad. Have you ever been to Yuma?
This is how hundreds And you get it only from Nicoderm CQ. Store brand patches have only one step. You can't step down your dose. Nicoderm CQ has 3. You step down gradually, and gradual is the method doctors prefer. Quitting's important. Choose carefully. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Tuesday, get behind the wheel with Jeff Gordon.
There's a little bit of fear there because the car can get away from you. You know it's going to hurt a lot when you hit that wall.
An all-new Behind Closed Doors ABC Tuesday.
Well, we've got 11:20 yet to play. The folks here enjoying what's taking place with the Seminoles, holding on to that #1 ranking and leading 41-28 over Georgia Tech. Jankowski to kick off, and again, it's deep, but this one has a shot at being returned. This is Joe Burns. Burns across the 15 to the 19-yard line. Well, ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the new Chevy Silverado. It's not just any truck, it's the truck. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Dell, innovative computer solutions from the company that pioneered direct around the world. Be direct. Dell. With a pitch. The gain is 7. They need him in punches now.
Well, like Ward, they found a way to get Des White the ball, that time on an option where they brought him in motion. You know, I know what Joe Hamilton did on the sideline a moment ago, but first let's see this play. A great block here on the corner. Perfect execution once again by Joe Hamilton, and Des White picks up good yardage. Flag thrown, and looks like they will bring that one back.
Yeah, it's going to be against Georgia Tech. Well, the Yellow Jackets running out of time as we approach the last 11 minutes here from Doak Campbell Stadium. 11:02.
Tim, I know what Joe Hamilton did over there on the sideline. He said, guys,
distance to the goal, repeat first down.
Guys, we've got 28 and they've got 41, but you know what? We don't have to be real smart to add it up. We put 14 down here. Let's see, that's 2, carry the 1, 42 to 41. We're still alive. 2 touchdowns.
But first down and forever. Quarterback draw, nothing. And again, a flag, and this might be a face mask against the defense. David Warren made the tackle. Oh, this is holding against Georgia Tech. They move them back even further. And Joe's starting to show a little frustration.
Right. You see O'Leary, he has that Boston Northern accent, New York accent, and you know, Hamilton has the South Carolina accent. I understand when he came into school here that he was real shy. And they'll get this call.
Holding by the offense, half the distance to the goal, repeat first down.
And I understand they had trouble communicating, Tim, because he had that South Carolina accent, the quarterback trying to talk to O'Leary. He said it was really tough in the huddles for a while.
It's going to be really tough for Hamilton here. Crowd trying to help the defense. They need 23 for the first. From his end zone. Has it complete over the middle to Watkins. So he gets some of it back. Let's go back to New York and John Saunders. John?
Steve, Ohio State searching, may have found the quarterback they needed in Steve Belisari, who's come off the bench and looked pretty good. 8 yards here to Kenyon Rambo, who also has looked very good after a tough first outing where he got one pass. 35-17, the lead, Ohio State. Tim.
All right, John, thanks. So Ohio State trying to put that one in the bag, and Florida State well in control here. Although, as Dean just pointed out, Georgia Tech with plenty of time and still within 2 touchdowns, but back up against it on 2nd and 17. Throws to the corner. Has it complete. Not enough for the first, but a big gain. Joe Burns all the way out to the 29-yard line. He'll be about a yard short.
Well, a couple of things. The quarterback, Hamilton, is getting hit on every play. But the other part of that, he's hanging in there. And that was a terrific throw. That's as good a throw as Hamilton's thrown all night. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. They've made up a chunk. Joe Hamilton now 15 for 18, 314 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just a marvelous performance. Huge play for Georgia Tech. Hamilton on the option. They've got the first, no flags. Joe Burns. Wow. It's a surprising play when you only needed 1. Option is hard to stop, especially Georgia Tech loves that bread and butter. Well, Joe Hamilton has never finished a game against Florida State. 3 starts, 3 knockouts. As you look at the hits he's been taking over the years, he told us he dreams about it. He thought about it all summer. This is the only team he's never finished against. And he felt confident that if he could finish a game against them, he could beat them. Flags fly. Simon jumps across the line. We'll see if he was drawn, but 9:16 remaining in the ball game, and Joe Hamilton trying to rally the troops. 2 touchdowns could win the game.
Dead ball foul, offside, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Keep in mind, just moments ago, Georgia Tech was backed inside the 10. Hamilton was throwing from the end zone. And now they move the ball all the way out to the 35 in that 1st down and 5. Option, quick pitch. Joe Burns all the way out to the 48, and then he's punished. 1st down, Tech. Once again, superior execution by Hamilton and company. Sometimes going left, it's a little tougher pitch, and Burns slow getting out. That was quite a lick. Working on Burns. Can ill afford to lose him. Fatigue definitely a factor now for Georgia Tech, which does not go nearly as deep as Florida State. Sean Gregory with a tremendous hit. We'll be back.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Everybody has imagined the home of their dreams. But at State Farm, we dream about a house that looks great from the inside. One strong enough to survive a hurricane or other natural disaster. That's why we helped found the Institute for Business and Home Safety, a research and education group determined to strengthen building materials and building codes. Because at State Farm, we think the most beautiful kind of home will always be the one that's still standing.
Resisted barbarians, overpowered savages, thwarted the uncivilized. That was just on the drive to work. Chevy Blazer. Steel-reinforced double-wall doors, powerful Vortec engine. A little security in an insecure world. Chevy Blazer, like a rock.
You see the time remaining in the ball game. 8:45. It's 41-28, but Joe Hamilton has Georgia Tech on the move. 1st down, a lot of pressure, and Joe escapes. Into Florida State territory, down to the 47. Joe, like most quarterbacks, tells us that he prefers to sit back in the shotgun. And I can tell you, a quarterback at 5'10", you get to see the defense a lot better back there.
You know, that's a good point. His height may make some of the NFL scouts a little bit leery, but his multi-dimensional talents make him one of the most dangerous players in college football.
And what a leader. I mean, this is really impressive. Not surprisingly, Flutie's his hero.
Second down and 6. Here they come. Hamilton throws quickly, one-on-one to the outside. And Georgia Tech is up close to another first down. That's Kelly Campbell with the completion, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Joe Hamilton is going down play after play after play. This time, Roland Seymour, the big defensive end, 56, coming on the right side. Joe sees him. Get rid of it. Protect yourself. He's going down every play, Tim.
Kelly Campbell.
Was it Warfel a few years ago? Florida's quarterback was just hammered.
There is a flag down in the backfield. Kelly Campbell made his 5th catch of the night. Seymour goes out and gets a breather.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 15 yards to the end of the last run, automatic first down.
So, Dino, that's what you were just pointing out. It's the hit on Hamilton. They moved the ball all the way down to the 22-yard line. Let's go down to Jack.
Tim, Hamilton may be going down and getting back up, but his tailbacks aren't. First it was Philip Rogers. He's out with a problem with his right shoulder. Then we see Joe Burns, the other tailback that replaced Rogers. He's out with an injured right ankle. They're playing their 3rd string tailback.
That being Sean Gregory. Sean Gregory is the tailback. It's 1st and 10. Hamilton in trouble, escapes again. Rolls around the right side and goes out of bounds at the 25, a pickup of 2. Here are the Dell Game solutions, Dean. What do you think?
Well, Tech offensively, keep Hamilton healthy. Yeah, he is. He's having to really work at it to stay healthy. And they're into the 4th quarter. This ball game is very much alive.
Well, this is what George O'Leary thought had to happen for them to have a chance.
But to beat Florida State, you have to outscore them. And I don't mean outscore them 14-13. I'm just saying they're going to score points, so you've got to put points on the board.
I'll tell you something, partner. If they score here, this could get very interesting in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Second down and 8. Hamilton on the corner. Late pitch. And a terrific play by Kay Cody, 27, the right corner to make that tackle and make the stop.
They were a block away from a chance for a touchdown. And that's an example of on offense, you've got to have 11 people working for you. Love the execution here from everyone but the receiver at the top of the picture, and I think it's Watkins. You think maybe touchdown, no block there from 9, and the play is for nil. One guy doesn't do his job.
3rd down and 8. Quick pitch, bad pitch, loss of yardage. You can do that no look with Joe Burns because you work with him every day. You can do that to Philip Rogers because you do it every day. But when you bring in a young guy like Sean Gregory and you pitch back there who you haven't worked with, you've got a problem.
Well, very good point. I told you earlier that even though quarterbacks like Hamilton are good with their left hand and right, this is a tough pitch. You got a quarterback stunt that's the toughest stunt you can have. You've got to get that ball out very quickly, and then, as you mentioned, a different player back there. But what a time on 3rd in a critical situation. Now 4th, you have to go.
And the crowd is alive at Doak Campbell Stadium. Hamilton. Complete. Gregory. Not enough for the 1st. Surprising short pattern when they had to get down to the 12.
Well, I'd like to know what Hamilton's thinking there. You know, he's such a gutty game player. But you're right. You've got to move the chains. You've got to go deep, and that's what Coach O'Leary's telling him right now.
They're on their feet in Tallahassee. 6:07 to play. We'll be back.
We thought of them when we gave it a more powerful V8 than any top-selling Ford or Dodge pickup. we thought of them when we gave it a bigger extended cab than Ford F-150 or Dodge Ram. Maybe that's why Motor Trend thought of us. The new Chevy Silverado. It's the truck. The Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
Come on, we can do this. Come on, stick it. Stick it. Come on. Come on.
It's coming down. We suck.
Yeah.
We need Coach Wooden.
Please consult the Pyramid of Success. You have confused team spirit with competitive greatness.
I'm sorry. I thought I was competitive greatness.
That's okay. I thought I was team spirit.
Thanks, Coach Wooden.
Going back. Back.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Coming up Thursday, Friends is a repeat. So watch the season premiere of Whose Line Is It Anyway instead. See you Thursday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Crowd now becomes a factor in the last 6:07. Florida State will just try to melt the clock. 2-touchdown lead. They can melt it. They close the gap now instead of the 4 wides and see if they start running. Here's the pitch back. Not a whole lot there for Minor.
You know, Ted Roof now is in the odd position of knowing that Florida State's really wanting to run the football. You don't have that luxury very often.
Second down and 8. Reset the play clock and let's see if they use a lot of it. That's where Wanky should watch that play clock. Let it melt down inside 10 before he gets the snap.
He does.
Snaps it at 15. Well, there's a bounce pass out to Peter Warrick. Look at him. He's laughing. He says, I thought I'd throw you a bounce pass. Hey, we're going to take you week by week through the college football season, all the way to the BCS and into the national championship game in the Sugar Bowl. Some of you next week will see 24th ranked NC State battle the #1 team in the nation. Florida State, Peter Warrick. Of course, remember, they lost to NC State last year. They want revenge. Ohio and Ohio State will be at Boulder, Kansas and Colorado, San Diego State and USC. You know, all on ABC next week.
You know, we talked about the quarterbacks doing well. This is an example. He didn't do well. He snapped it. You got it at 15 seconds. That was right, and they threw it in the ground.
So now Wanky does have to throw. He's going deep. This ball intended for Warrick. Incomplete, no flags. So just like that, in and out. And Georgia Tech will get the ball back.
Yep.
Not very good clock management by Florida State that time.
No, not at all. They were in a position with that easy dump-off pass. And that's an example of what we were talking about earlier, that the tougher throws that Winky does a better job than the easy ones. He just had one out in the flat. Anybody could throw that, but he short-armed it, stopped the clock.
So the Seminoles now will punt. Des White is standing back at the 37-yard line. Punt is not a bad one. And Georgia Tech will have the ball at the 37. Crowd wanted a clip. There are no flags. 5 minutes left. 41-28.
Meet Boone Tidwell, bounty hunter. Knows crime doesn't pay, knows Chevy S10 does. Standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Plus more interior room and a bigger bed than Ford Ranger. It's what IntelliChoice calls a best overall value. It's what Boone calls his best catch yet. Chevy S10. Like our rock.
Have I been a good husband? Have I taught my children the right things? And have I learned from what they've taught me?
We each measure success in our own way. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level.
Have I done the best I could? Yes, I believe I have.
Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
2 more tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Penn State and Miami face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
You would think Florida State, when it got the ball back, would have melted the clock. They started on their own 24, 3 plays, they gained 1 yard, and only used just over a minute. So now Joe Hamilton gets back in. He's 9 for 9 this half, 107 yards. Hamilton scrambles for a tough 3 yards out to the 40.
All right, we were wondering if they go to Des White. They need 22 to make a big play for them. Time's running out. They've got to go score. But during the break, we were talking, and I was saying, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if you sprinkle in some option. Fans are saying now, what are you doing there? You know, your clock's running, short yardage. But the defense is thinking pass. That softens it up, and you should be able to pick up 10 yards at a time and move down and score, which is the most important thing.
Well, you saw the numbers on Des White. He had the 80-yard touchdown. There he is, right there. Instead, they throw underneath. Showing Gregory out to the 45. He'll be 3 yards short of the first. Ohio State and UCLA are still playing. Let's go back to New York. Here's John.
Well, Tim, as bad as the Buckeyes looked against Miami, they've looked every bit as good in this game. This is Jerry Westbrook who takes it in. Steve Belisari's played extremely well off the bench as quarterback, putting away UCLA now with under 7 to go, 42-20.
Boy, John, that was a poor tackle, too, by UCLA. And we saw so much of that in the Rose Bowl with Ron Dayne in Wisconsin. Here's the pass. This is complete. It'll be a first down for Georgia Tech. Ball's lost out of bounds, but it'll be down to the 35.
Campbell once again.
Campbell, the fastest player for Georgia Tech, who picks up a big chunky yardage for the Yellow Jackets.
Literally picks up. That's the play that Bobby Bowden was talking about earlier in the half, a pick play underneath. Now, sometimes it's borderline illegal, but the way they run it, it is a legal play.
You know, you made an interesting point. You were talking about going to Des White, the big play guy, or going an option off of that. And certainly what they did is send him long. Florida State looking for him to get the big play, and then came back, cleared out. Officials timeout, 3:29 to play. Georgia Tech needs a quick strike.
In a fumble out of bounds, return to the spot of the fumble. The clock starts on the ready for play.
So the Stabler rule brings it back to the 35. Hamilton rolls right. Gets a block. Should have been a face mask call. There was none. At least it looked like it from up here that they got caught.
The problem for Georgia Tech is that the front four now of Florida State is taking over the game. And you've got to worry about Joe Hamilton having time. They're running sprint outs there, and they just can't drop back and do what they would like to do. Now you've got to be thinking call timeout, and there are no timeouts. A couple wasted.
Under 3 minutes to play. Second down and 12. And the pass to the flat. It's complete again to Gregory down to the 33-yard line. Not enough for the first.
Mario Edwards there, perhaps the top pick at his position, cornerback from the NFL draft. At least that's what some people are saying. They go so deep over here at Florida State, though, with corners with Cody and Thomas and Durden. They just let in fact, those guys tell each other when they're going to go in. The coach didn't even care.
Edwards, a very confident guy, did not give up a touchdown pass all last season during the regular year. Down to the 28-yard line, a completion to Gregory again, but still not enough for the first. It'll bring up fourth down and short, but the clock continues to move down to 2:26, 2:25.
nice catch, but you really would like to keep your feet if at all possible. I know the ball wasn't thrown perfectly, but he had to get it off. If he keeps his feet, he gets the first down, and the clock stops momentarily.
A reminder, time permitting, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from across the country.
Last chance for Georgia Tech. No first, game's over.
4th down and 2 for Joe Hamilton and the Yellow Jackets. This is it. Hamilton has the first. And he's all the way down to the 21. But the clock
it's killing
is at 1:51. They stop that now for the first down. They'll move the chains and reset it. Looks like Des White is shaken up.
Well, now you're in really risky territory. I mean, the only way really for Georgia Tech to pull this out is to score onside kick and then go score again. Yeah, you can do it, but if you had conserved those timeouts, you're in a different situation.
Hey, partner, 1:51 to go, 41-28. While there's timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. We'll be back.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner removes stubborn brake dust easily. And Eagle One Wet Tire Shine applies a clear high gloss shine instantly. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use premium Eagle One products exclusively?
When you're in the spotlight, you always want to look your best.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner and Eagle One Wet Tire Shine for the perfect finish. Eagle One, are you ready for the attention?
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
I was born hungry, but I was born Italian, so that never happened again. Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us, the Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want. Ooh, spaghetti with meat sauce, fettuccine Alfredo, you name it. The bowls keep coming until you say, ooh, when. And the same for the salad and breadsticks, all for $6.95. I'm gonna eat it all. That's because of now. Nobody's ever heard this guy say when. I love this place. Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
Final 1 minute, 50 seconds to play. Florida State leading 41-28. Georgia Tech down in scoring position, and they need one in a hurry. First down for Joe Hamilton. Goes to the corner. Timing pattern to Campbell. Did he make the catch? Down Georgia Tech. Kelly Campbell with a terrific one-handed grab. Touchdown catch. Wait till you see this one, folks.
And he's up against a great one in Edwards. Great coverage, great throw, one-handed grab. And he's showing the potential they felt he had last year. Quite frankly, they haven't been that impressed with him so far this season, but he's had a big night.
Extra point is up, and it's good. How about this? 1:35 left, and it's 41-35. And I'll guarantee you they'll be coming with an onside kick. Look at this catch.
That possession didn't take long.
We'll be right back.
It would have been easy to have been a football player and not a student. And conversely, it would have been much easier to have been just a student and left football for some other day and time. But it wouldn't have been as joyous, as rich, as humbling to have been one without the other. So for all of us, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not for a single award on a single night, but for the many memorable and molding moments that we have had the privilege to call ourselves student athletes.
There there is a look at Kelly Campbell, who made a terrific one-handed grab. But the story for Georgia Tech has to be their Heisman Trophy candidate. That, of course, Joe Hamilton, who in the second half is 14 for 14, flat out perfect. Joe Hamilton put it all on the line tonight. For the evening, 22 of 25, 387 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
His leadership skills have been as good as his ability to throw the football. Okay, so, you know, Campbell had a suspected fractured jaw, went out into the first half, comes back in, makes that spectacular grab. All right, game's on the line for Georgia Tech. Onside kick, if they get it, even though they don't have any timeouts, they have plenty of time to move down, make the touchdown, kick the extra point, and win by 1. The good hands unit on for Florida State.
Well, this will get interesting. It already has. Guy Cornwell tees it up. Sure hand guys are in there for Florida State. 1:35 to play and a 6-point differential. Is there a miracle for Georgia Tech tonight? Good cover up. Travis Minor was all over it.
Well, it takes a perfect kick, and then it takes a little luck. You know, you got to have a good bounce. You got to have the guy on the other end just kind of tighten up, and the odds are overwhelmingly in the favor of the receiving team.
This was not an easy catch for Travis Minor.
No, it wasn't.
Short hopping like a shortstop. See if Georgia Tech can make a stop or whether Florida State can just melt the clock. That's what they'll do with 1:32 left. They know that Georgia Tech has no timeouts remaining. A reminder that Tuesday, September 21st, on the shocking season premiere of Dharma and Greg. Greg is gone. He's been replaced by this guy. Dharma and Greg on ABC premieres Tuesday, September 21st.
A game effort by Georgia Tech. They can't get there despite a terrific performance by Joe Hamilton. And you know, there are probably only 3 to 5 players on Georgia Tech's starting lineup who I believe could start for Florida State. That's out of 44 players.
Down inside a minute to 50 seconds now, Dean.
But that tells you a lot about this team's coach, how well they're coached, how well this guy leads them, and how many big plays they make. That's not to belittle their talent. It's just to tell you how talented Florida State is.
Well, the Chevrolet players of the game are Joe Hamilton, of course, and Peter Warrick. Joe Hamilton, perfect in the second half, 14 for 14, 22 of 25, 4 touchdowns. And Peter Warrick, 8 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown. Also 3 returns, 25 yards, and a touchdown. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. And beginning this year, Chevrolet will also donate $1,000 to their high schools. So that means for Joe, it'll be Macedonia High School in Alvin, South Carolina, and for Peter Warrick, it'll be Southeast High School and Bradenton, Florida. And to Chevrolet, a big thank you.
We have a dead ball, illegal snap by the offense. 5 yards, it's still 3rd down.
We'll have one more snap and it'll be over. The Seminoles of Florida State will go to 2-0 and remain number 1 in the country. And Georgia Tech will be 1-1.
That's a dandy, partner.
That's it. Florida State wins it 41-35. That was terrific. Georgia Tech awfully talented. Florida State just loaded. Once again, the final score, Florida State 41, Georgia Tech 35. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Don't forget.